Tubes, and we're here. Hello.
Hello!
I'm still having loads of microphone issues. This is why I keep looking over there because it tells me that my microphone's not working properly. Hello, everyone. We're doing Stories from the Smoke
if you don't tell them, they might not notice.
They'll notice when I go quiet, though. The mic. That's the thing. Right. It's Stories from the Smoke Room. It's our last one for 3 weeks because we're having a break. So we're doing stories, and we've already picked an order. Going first will be Hannah Platts. Oh, Doug Deans is in the chat, everyone.
Oh,
hello.
Hello, Doug Deans.
New people.
Ooh,
this is exciting.
I can't look at the chat because my Wi-Fi is too bad. So if there's anything good in the chat, you'll have to tell me.
What's this all about, Doug Deans? I'll tell you what this is all about. Basically, we take it in turns to tell stories. It's that simple.
Is Doug Deans not one of your friends?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
For a second, I got excited. We got a genuine fan.
Oh, Steph, we don't.
Steph, no.
No.
I'm amazed.
It's not going to happen, Steph.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure Doug is still here. So
I'm amazed.
Sorry,
So basically we tell stories, Doug, like we were all in a pub, hence the name, Stories from the Smoke Room. It's logical, innit? You know, it all works. But anyway, going first tonight is Hannah Platts. Hannah Platts, what's your story about? And do you even know yourself, bearing in mind that you didn't have one 10 minutes ago and she's frozen?
should we go around in the meantime and just do what everyone's stories are then, so it gives her time to come back?
Yeah, that's what I was
Should we
gonna
make
do.
up what her story should be about?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I think so.
What?
And then she has to do it.
The room is locked. Unlock the room. So she
Never.
Oh, damn it. I mean, yeah, you're back.
Oh, that's nice.
Sorry.
Yeah, good.
Platt,
That might keep happening today. My Wi-Fi's been really bad.
Platt, you had like shapes all over your thing then. It's like you had a filter on or something. But anyway.
I wish I did.
carry on.
That's my terrible Wi-Fi. After we come back from our...
She's forever throwing shade.
Hey.
Hey.
When we come back from our holiday,
Oh, shit. Sorry, I apologise.
I can go back to my office, and so I can have good Wi-Fi again. Yay.
Oh. Platt,
Yay.
what's your story
Hi.
about?
Well, so the time has apparently come for me to finally tell the wedding story.
Yes!
Yes.
Shall we all just have the rest of the night off? Shall we just let this be the story for tonight?
I feel
I
like
haven't-
before she tells the story, Hannah probably needs to know that we all really love her and appreciate her deeply.
Yeah,
Yes.
thanks. That it does help actually. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that too.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I've been I've been sort of saying that I would do it for a while, and I have got nothing else. We were just talking before we came on stream, and I've got nothing. So the time has come before our holiday for me to vent my trauma about my...
Also, so
wedding.
everyone knows, there was a discussion in the chat this afternoon where Platt said, I'm about to go and get my tyres changed and I'm just hoping something happens.
Yeah, it was a last resort. And all that happened was I said, can you fix my tyre, please? And he said, yes. And I went, waiting for him to do something fun or amusing. And he just went, I'll give you a ring when it's ready. And I went, okay, and left. And that was not a good story. So I will have to tell you about my terrible wedding.
Well done,
Yay!
Hannah. You should have gone in with a boob out or something. That would have, just start the conversation off.
Yeah. Which I normally do as well. I can't believe I didn't.
Anyway, after Platsy, it's going to be Mikey. Mikey, what's your story about?
Sliding doors. My own personal sliding doors, as opposed to the sliding doors, i.e. the 90s cult classic rom-com.
Room, can I make a confession here? I haven't seen Sliding Doors.
Keep it like
I
that.
mean, I haven't.
Neither
I
have I.
haven't all the
Oh,
way
that's-
through.
Just don't say it.
Is it shit?
I wanted to be cool.
It's
Is it shit?
a man who quotes Monty Python lines at a woman gets off with her. That's never happened and never will.
That's
So-
true. Yeah, it's bullshit. Okay. Adam, what's your story?
It is about the most terrifying text I ever received.
Scary text.
Yeah, I mean, put it like that. It sounds shit. It's just a text that says "boo," and that was it.
Scary text. It's not even Halloween.
No,
Steph, what's your story about?
My story is about why you shouldn't laugh at old men dying in a park.
What?
Has this got
Don't mind
anything
me.
to do? Has this got anything to do with Platts and the Blind Man in
No.
wherever it was?
No.
Okay.
Oh no.
Hannah Platt.
Hi.
We're very much looking forward to Steph's story. Let's put it that way.
What?
Yeah.
What
I
happened?
know. I think it's gonna be a surprise.
Okay, yeah, I'll have it as a
should be
surprise, yeah.
And
I'm
then
excited.
I'm going last with my story, which is Tales from Sunday League.
Nice.
No.
I can't spell. That's not the story. I'm just
Is that the story?
Which word?
I think
Was it tail?
Sunday. I mean,
I've made a career on not spelling, Dave.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right. Okay. Let's start. Ladies and gentlemen,
Go for it, mate.
this is why I started this show. Was in the vain
Is
hope
this-
that one day we can end it all after this.
We've been teasing the wedding story since.
When I first met Hannah, she was with Adam, and Adam says, "This is Hannah." And then Adam took me to one side and went, "She's got a great story about a wedding, but we haven't been able to work out what it is yet. Can you come up with some sort of idea so that she's got to tell stories?"
And then, like half a box of wine later, Dave went, "I've got an idea." Well, I was crying on me talking about how good 4048 is.
That is me, 1448. Ladies and gentlemen, with the wedding story,
The wedding story.
Hannah Platts.
Thanks, thank you. I came prepared with a small drop of sherry, so it's going to be fine.
you are so Tory.
No, I'm middle class. There's a difference.
Tory or your nan? Mm.
That's quite a Venn diagram, that way.
So I should probably just put it out there at the beginning. I've been divorced for some time.
Doug
We
Deans.
haven't.
Doug Deans has just said he's getting married this year, so he could learn from this.
You could learn what not to do.
Yes.
Do
Yeah.
not copy anything I've done, Doug Deans. Please, please. Make better decisions. Young Hannah found herself in a position where she was apparently getting married and wasn't that into the idea. Now, that should have been the first clue.
I feel like I need a red flag to wave at points.
But it was
during the
not.
Story.
Were you getting dating tips from Steph?
I've got a metaphorical
right?
red. I've got a metaphorical red flag.
Yeah, that's your red flag. That's where
This
you're
is my red flag. This is a bad sign.
I've
Were you
never-
getting dating tips from Steph? Mike, remember, you're single too.
Yeah, we're all in this together, Michael.
Yeah.
Right. So
The thing with the guy in the fridge,
the fridge guy.
where she should
Hey.
cancel, but
I've
Hi.
forgotten about that.
Hey, that was a calculated decision.
And I think we're about to learn that this might be a worse day.
So wasn't really into the whole thing. Like the concept of marriage, I'm not really into. But just kind of got onto that train, and the train wasn't stopping. So
Have you tried pulling the communication cord?
and it cost me a few £100.
Oh my goodness.
And so the whole like organization of the thing was not something I was that into. So it was just like, okay, I suppose we'll just make a wedding.
I refuse to believe a woman was not actively involved in her wedding planning.
No,
Doug Deans has said that him and Amy, or I assume he's getting married to, actually love each other. So that's a good start. Were you
a good start.
Were you in love, Hannah Platt?
I mean, it's hard to tell because I've blanked out so much of that period of my life. I don't think so. I don't know what I was thinking at the time, basically.
It's the most depressing thing I've heard in so long. And
Yeah.
I heard Morrissey read his own book.
Oh, no. So, I don't even know where to begin. What a fucking nightmare. Okay. Before I told this story, I was going to make bullet points. Like when I knew I was going to do it, I was going to do bullet points so that I got all the key bits in and didn't just get distracted by like former trauma. Oh my God, I rhymed. But I haven't done that, so this is going to be a bit rambling. So let's just focus in. Let's ignore a lot of the lead up trauma and let's focus in on the day. So we travelled up, we got married up here. We were living in Surrey, but we got married up here. So we were travelling up a few days before. I think it was like the Wednesday before the Saturday wedding. And we were coming up the M1 and the wheel on the car shredded, completely shredded. Had to get across 3 lanes of traffic onto the hard shoulder.
So,
and
so the universe was saying
no.
Turn around, turn around
Yeah.
now, or I'm going to
Yeah.
finish you off.
The red flags were everywhere. So, and we were like too far away from home for someone to come get us, but like, you know, quite nearly there. So we just had to stand there on this hard shoulder, like on the other side of the barrier. Because we couldn't get the wheel off. It was like, because it had gone all like bent and horrible, we couldn't get it off to change the tyre. So we had to wait for the AA to come. So we were waiting there for, I think, 2 hours on the side of the road. It got dark and the AA man had to bring a big mallet and like hit the wheel off to get it off because it was like completely stuck.
I mean, fortunately, this is 2 days before your wedding. And you're with the man you're going to spend the rest of your life with. So, you know,
yeah, or at least the next 18 months. Yeah.
Also, no, this isn't the main take of the anecdote, but a mallet.
Yeah.
A
mallet. A Timmy mallet.
A wooden mallet is very good for
hitting the tyre off.
Yeah, it doesn't damage the metal,
Right.
but it still puts enough force in. I know.
You really went for it as well. And then, so I don't know if you've ever been like, if the AA have ever had to come to your broken down vehicle, but they hold up a thing at the end with smiley faces on. Well, there's like a sad face, a neutral face, and a smiley face. And they ask you to press the face of how you feel about their service. But my former other half was all kind of like, and like just pushed a thing and was like, yeah, okay, cool. Accidentally pushed sad face. And then the guy was like, can I ask why you've pushed that face? And then he had to try and be like, oh, no, I didn't mean to push sad face. And they had this whole thing. And it was just like, why are we standing here talking about sad face? Anyway.
It's a metaphor for the weekend ahead.
I mean, the whole thing was like a nightmare. They're like, we'd had to invite people that I didn't even like because my parents had given us money. And so like, it was like money in exchange for like invites. Are
we keeping track of all these red flags?
I'll get a tally. We're on
We've got
4.
a running count.
It was a place, it's like a hotel, and it's sort of down the end of a lane, so it's kind of the middle of nowhere. So everyone was like, most people were staying in these, like, they've got like a sort of stable block thing with rooms in. And
Can I quickly add, are the red flags for the wedding or relationship?
both.
In which case, run 5.
Thanks. And so the day came around. Let's fast forward. The day came around. I couldn't sleep, and I woke up about 4 a.m. and I went downstairs, and the cat had been sick. So I was like, cleaning up. The cat sick at 4 a.m. on my wedding day.
The cat knows.
And so I just sat there then awake, like, well, this is fine. You're supposed to feel really, really awful, aren't you? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. Nobody of people I worked with, my friends, nobody noticed, or at least they didn't tell me if they had noticed. I spent the entire time before and after the wedding going, oh, it's great. You've just got to push through the ceremony bit because that's shit and get to the party. Like, no one told me that was a thing that like isn't that you're supposed to enjoy the ceremony bit.
Yeah.
The whole time I'm like, just got to push through that bit because that's the shit bit, and then you get to the food.
Then
and that's the good
I agree with you, which makes me answer this question: why do you bother having the ceremony? Why don't we just have a fucking party? Because no one enjoys the ceremony.
The ceremony's
Well,
bad.
the bride and groom are supposed to, because they're like going, I quite like this person.
Yeah,
I shall spend the remainder of my life with them.
A
I think if you
serious
like the
question.
person, you probably enjoy it.
A serious question, Hannah Platts.
The sherry's out.
Excuse me while I have a sherry to prepare for it.
But also, sorry,
Mike.
Dave.
No, go on, Mike.
People, or sausage rolls. It's a bit of a
Sausage rolls every time.
See.
Yep.
Hannah Platts. Were
Dave
you making decisions on, and this is for Doug Deans. I'm also asking this of Doug Deans. Were you making decisions on the day based on what you thought other people would like?
Yeah. Yeah, the whole thing was because, like, and I'm saying this in a low voice because they're in the house with me now, but like my parents didn't have a big wedding, like no family went, it was just friends. There were no photos because their friend was supposed to be taking pictures for them and they kept the lens cap on the camera all day. So there's no record of my parents' wedding. It was just a booze up in Acton Town Hall.
That's pretty dope, though. That's what a
Which
wedding
is
should
great,
be.
which is what I want. But I had to have a stupid formal wedding because they never got one.
That's the wrong time for someone like me to take a drink. I can assure you.
So I had my friend Jasmine with me, who was my bridesmaid. He's like just a beautiful human, and she's very organized and efficient, and she was like, come on, this is great, you can get you a cup of tea, this is going to be fine. And I'm like, this is why I gave you this job. And we went and got our hair done, and then it was like, well, we've got to go over to the place now, but like, I'm a bit hungry, are you a bit hungry? Like, yeah. So we ended up going to the only place that was open, which was Burger King in the motorway services,
cool.
with like full face of makeup and hair. I'm wearing a tiara and some jeans and like a hoodie, but like a full like plastered face of makeup, and my hair was all built up with a tiara around it and everything. And I'm like, I will take the Whopper, please. One of your finest Whoppers, please, young man. Thank you.
We will take the Whopper.
Yes, I know it's only 9:30 in the morning. I don't care. So
I've been up since 4 o'clock, mopping up cat shit.
I was peckish. So that was hilarious. I think she took a picture of us just sat in the Burger King, like.
We need that for the socials.
And might have deleted it all. So yes, then we went there. I'm trying to think of the main points because there were so many terrible ones. We went to the place, got ready, and it was like I was feeling really weird, and I was like, oh, it's probably just because like I've just eaten a Burger King at a weird time of day. I've been up, I'm bound to feel a bit discombobulated because it's my wedding day. Do you know what I mean? This is all a bit weird. I was like, I just feel a bit like I'll have a cup of tea. So I'm sitting there having a cup of tea. The photographer keeps trying to get in to take pictures of us getting ready, and I'm like, I am literally in nothing but pants. Like, you need to knock. It's like, what?
You don't mind if I take some photos to remind you of the day, do you? Oh, I'm definitely the photographer you hired.
It was like the pushiest. Yeah. The photographer was more in charge of the wedding than I was.
You always look better when the photos are taken from on the floor.
Yeah. It was like, I was like, no, get out. I don't want pictures of me like getting out of my jeans. What is this?
I'll just to test the light.
The photographer
Dirty bride.
was way more in charge
Flagging
of the
Adam. I'm
day.
red flagging Adam.
Yeah, let's red flag that because I don't like that.
Don't blame me. Blame the photographer.
I'd just like to point out, it sounds like the photographer had a great day.
He had a wonderful day. Do you know what? He had the best day.
Did you? I hope you marked him down on Photography Advisor or whatever.
I don't think I ever reviewed him. Yeah. So we did the whole wedding thing.
Did you actually
which is
book
the
him?
worst bit.
Did you book him, or was he just someone who turned up?
He came with the venue.
Oh yeah, he came with the venue. Oh
No,
dear.
he didn't. Yeah, we did the whole wedding thing where you like get married to somebody, and it's
I
like,
love how that was just one sentence. The
I
actual
hated it.
wedding itself is just
was
a
awful.
sentence long. Then we got
it was
married.
terrible.
Anyway, the
And
party.
then it was like, ugh. Did you have to have somebody come in like to prove that you're not like being coerced or that you're not like trying to get a green card or whatever? They come in and interview you separately and they do a little quiz. And like, so you're at the point where you're like at the highest level of like anxiety and nerves. And like, I was feeling a bit weird inside. I've got all my things on. I feel like I'm not myself. I've got this weird makeup on that doesn't make me feel like me. I'm like, this is just a weird day. And a woman comes in and starts being like, what's his dad's middle name? What is his profession? And I'm like, I don't know. Who are you? I don't know. So that's...
Sorry, were you
Yeah,
getting married in an asylum place, or?
Yeah,
was-
no,
it was-
it's because it's not a church. It's like a civil...
Yeah, I got
Whatever.
married.
She got married in the set of Mastermind, and there was
Yeah.
a crossover. Of,
Yeah.
people.
I got married in
I
a
only had
registry.
30 seconds to answer.
I got married in a
always
registry
answering.
office.
She was only answering
Yeah.
the question right. It was the previous question. Like,
Yeah.
it's really niche to on this joke.
That-
But then,
Yeah.
we move on. We move as the youth say.
So I had to do a quiz. It might be like, because I think it depends on which like district your registrars are from as to whether they do it or not. But you have to be in separate rooms and you answer questions about the other person.
What the
to
hell?
like prove. And I'm like, this is really stressful actually.
That's
I know.
I've never.
To be fair, my friends had to do the same when they got married at the Eden Project. So, yeah.
Is it a case of you were married in a parish where you weren't living?
Oh yeah.
Might be.
Not
Yeah,
parish, but in
maybe.
like the registry.
Because it counts as
yeah.
Derbyshire there, I think. So technically, yeah. Yeah. So that was fun. And then so we did the whole wedding thing. And then so like someone comes up, so my friend came up to me. You have to like fuck about and do all the photos and stuff. And my friend came up to me like, who was the? You didn't tell me that oh god, my friend was like, you didn't tell me that you had a celebrity here. And I was like, I don't, do I? She was like, oh my god.
I can't smell anything.
It's Richard Grant.
I just got the joke. That's really funny.
It was a callback about a year in the making, and I stand by it. I stand by it.
It was a
I
good
appreciated
joke. It
it.
was a good joke.
I'm proud of it.
So my cousin, she's like my step cousin, I suppose. We're not related. We're related via marriage, but she's like my cousin. Had turned up with a guy she was seeing who is somebody from The Only Way Is Essex, but I've obviously never seen that, so I had no idea that's who it was. Not one of the main people, just
Oh,
like
it's even
somebody
worse. Wave
being
that
on
bad boy.
it. Yeah, wave it. And she was wearing. She's really nice. I love her. She's just had a baby. But she was wearing this ridiculous dress, and everyone kept coming up to me and going, "Who is the girl in the red dress? I can't like." It was like red and like ruffles, and it was like it was shorter than like it was only just a dress. Do you know what I mean? It was like, and it was all like ruched, and it was like, this is a daytime event. Like, get changed into that for the evening. It was really I mean, she looked amazing. But it was like slinky, like...
What is often called a greyhound.
I don't know.
Inch away from the hair.
Oh, yes!
I'm red flagging that. That's disgusting.
I mean I sort of really loved it, and
it's
also
a really good it's a really good descriptive term, though, isn't it? That's the problem.
No.
That's the problem.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Back in your box, Pit. Absolutely not.
John, can you
You're in
clip that,
free
please?
speech jail.
Just for Steph's face.
The court case.
I just enjoyed John T's comment of Dave Pitt, that was awful.
It was. It was awful, but I'm so proud of it. Like a smelly fart. I'm like...
You're making it worse, Dave.
Yeah, I was on your side. Now I'm not.
Hannah, continue before he says anything else.
So that was a whole thing. So I was... we went and had like the meal that you have. And I said to my friend Jazz, like, I was like, I think this corset is too tight. Like, can you come and loosen it for me in the bathroom so I can eat my dinner? Because I don't feel like I can get any food in this. And she was like, yeah, okay. So like we went off and like went like undid all the lacing and everything. I was like, oh, thank fuck for that. Went in there. I was like, okay, yeah, I feel better. Eat my dinner. This is all fine. People made speeches. I decided not to make a speech because I literally couldn't think of anything I wanted to say. Red flag!
That's 15.
Everyone was like, we assumed that you would do a speech because you love talking. And I was like, oh no, I don't want to speak at this event that I don't want to be at anyway.
It's a man's place to speak at the wedding.
No, I'd rather pretend that none of this was happening.
10 hours ago, I was mopping up cat vomit.
Yeah.
6 hours ago,
this day peaked when I was eating a Whopper and chips.
Did you say a Whopper
in
out
my
of a
tiara?
skit?
No, Whopper and chips.
Oh, I was eating a Whopper out of a skit.
I was eating a Whopper out of a skit, wearing a tiara. So you do that, and then everyone mills about a bit, and then it's time for evening. Like there was like a band and stuff. So
what a band?
A jazz band.
That's right.
It does like popular classics as well. Right, okay, basically, what it was, the guy who made my cake was also in a band, so I did it all in a wanna. I was like, make me a cake and then also sing. Thanks.
A deal.
Sing me a cake.
Sing me a cake.
Did they do like a jazz flute version of Oops Upside Your Head?
No, but I wish they had. I wish they had. They were a good band, but like, so everyone's milling around, getting a drink and stuff while they sort out the evening thing, and someone comes up and puts a hand on my arm, and it was my former partner, and he was like, "Oh, you need to come and talk to the people," and I was like, "What people?" And it was like, "Oh," so I went down, and in the room where they were setting up the evening, there was the photographer talking to the woman in charge of the band, organising what our first dance was going to be. I'd already told him we weren't doing one because I thought the whole idea of it was just mortifying. But the photographer was like, but it'll really finish your album. And I was like, but I don't want to do it. And then in the meantime, he'd gone and found the band leader, the singer of the band, and been like, right, what songs have you got in your first few songs? Like, the photographer's doing this, and she's like, I'm doing like...
Jasper.
Jasper. She's like, oh, I guess we're doing like At Last by Etta James. And he was like, yeah, that's perfect. That can be your first dance. And I'm like, but I just told you that... And I was like, fine, whatever. Okay, yeah.
There's at least half a dozen hard waves of a red flag.
It's just one big one.
No, we're breaking this down. One for the photographer thinking he was in charge. One for a predictable first dance song.
Yeah, right.
Because you said okay.
The thing was, I was feeling so bad.
No,
so in
they make the
between,
term bridezilla for a reason.
not for
You can
me.
be a bitch,
No.
and it's allowed.
That's
No,
why I did it also
no.
won, because I didn't want to be that
No, it's
person. I
not.
didn't want
It's
to be
not
there.
allowed.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yes, it
So-
is.
Because
So what
it's
it
not
was-
her
Only
special
time-
day. It is their special day, and the fucking also
The
the
day
term
had nothing
bridezilla
to
is
do with
clearly
me.
misogynist.
Yeah.
But it's meant
Oh.
to be their special day.
Groomzilla is a thing, and that's perfectly allowed as well.
So-
In which case, let's just call them all dicks.
I didn't want to be.
Let's
a
not
Zilla
sully
of any
Godzilla's good name.
So
He's defended
basically-
the Earth so many times.
I want to see that new Godzilla film. Anyway, what it was is in this bit in between the meal and the evening, I'd said I need to go and have a sit down because I'm feeling really like weird and like tired and ill. I've been
Red
awake
flag.
for like a
Red
billion
flag.
hours. And so I tried to go upstairs, but as I was going upstairs to the room, the photographer was there like, oh, great, we can get some pictures of you in the room. And I was like, no, I need to just like, and he's like, no, it won't take long. Went up there and he was like, put my suitcase in the wardrobe so it was out of the way and like trying to do all these like stylized shots of us just like sitting on the sofa in the like room and everything. And I was like, I just need to have a rest. And he was like, no, it'll be fine, it won't take long. And like it took ages. So obviously I didn't get a chance to have a rest. Then I went down. Then I like get brought into this room where the photographer's like, right, so what's your first dance going to be? Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, cool. And I was like, fine. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, okay. Like it was easier to just be like, yeah, fine. So we had to do that.
This
So my
really does
entire
sound like
first
right. This photographer's definitely got an OnlyFans page.
yeah. Well, later on, he turned
What?
up. He turned up a few years later.
No, we're not. That's 1 minute. What? What about what was supposed to be explained makes you think this photographer gets their ass out on camera for money?
No. He doesn't get his own arse out for camera.
No,
He's
he turned up on my
yeah.
Tinder a few years ago. It was wonderful.
I don't know if that's a
Oh
red flag or
God!
not.
Did he swipe right on
Oh,
you?
that's,
I don't know because I said no to him because I was like, "Fuck you."
To be
Is
fair,
that name here?
Never mind the flag. That's worth the bunting we've got.
We've got enough for bunting.
It's worth the bunting.
We've got enough for bunting.
That's like a whole slimy level of flaggage right there.
I've got two more bits that I want to fit in, even though I know I've been talking for ages because this
Oh,
is
no,
the
you carry
culmination.
on.
No, I've got three more bits. So we did the first dance, and the entire dance, I was looking him in the eye going, you fucking cunt, I fucking hate this. This is so fucking annoying. I fucking hate this stupid fucking thing. I never
Red
wanted
flag.
to spin around in front of him.
Aw,
I'm like, this is
that's
fucking
nice.
stupid. This is really fucking awful. I hate this. I hate this so fucking much.
Aww.
Yeah, really, really romantic.
Doug,
Aw.
And all the pictures, I'm like, and,
Doug Deans. If Amy looks at you in the eye
Yeah.
during the first dance and goes, "You fucking cunt, you fucking cunt," right? That's a red flag.
That's a red flag. So so everyone was like having a fun time, like had a bit of a dance, and there was a little back room where they had some like bits of buffet and bits of the cake all cut up and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll have a bit of cake, that'll sort me out. So I went down there and I was just like, oh, so I was stood there and I looked in through the door of the room where the band was, and my nan was in there dancing. And I'd never seen that in my life. She was like
Aw.
80, like 3, 4 at the time. I'd never ever seen her dance in my entire life. And she was in there having a bop. And I was like, this is great. And my dad appeared at my side. And he was drunk. And he went, it's amazing, isn't it? You wouldn't think she'd be able to do that with the cancer. My nan had cancer and had forbidden anyone from telling me because she didn't want to ruin my wedding day. And that's how I found out. I was just like,
Oh god, this
What?
could be the Hannah Platt special episode. Everything about this story is perfectly horrible.
and then he went, oh no, I wasn't supposed to say, don't tell your mum.
John T's response of just Jesus Christ!
She had literally postponed her mastectomy till the week after my wedding so that I didn't know, because she didn't want to stress me out before my wedding that I didn't even care about.
Does that go down as one red flag or two? The fact your dad told you, and the fact the news you were told. I'm going to put it down as 2.
Yeah, put 2 down.
Okay.
You know when we spoke about brain fog. This is me mid panic attack. If I'm having a panic attack, you must have been on the floor.
So I was like,
this is the best story
Wow.
I've ever heard.
I was like,
Keep it light.
even the cake isn't going to fix this. I was like,
Right.
really
Hannah,
like.
Hannah Platts, you are my spirit animal. Cake isn't even cake isn't gonna fix it.
Even cake.
The fact that you thought that as well to me says that's not a red flag.
So
Because cake fixes fucking all.
I was like,
You just need enough of it.
yeah, usually.
And I bet there was marzipan in the middle, wasn't there, as well?
No, specifically, that was the only thing I requested was a chocolate wedding cake.
Right, okay.
So that was, yeah.
Might as well have something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Nice,
Did the
literally, yes.
photographer allow that to happen?
The
He
photographer.
was probably really annoyed about it, to be fair.
But it won't look very good on film.
Um,
This is my day,
Million
everyone.
under the cake.
It'll just really finish off your album, he kept saying. And I was like, I don't care about my album. I want a sleepy. So I was like, I feel really weird. And I thought maybe it's because I've just heard some like terrible news. So I was like, I just need to. So I went round to get some air, and there's like a little like toilets around there. And I was standing in there like, maybe I'm going to be sick. And I was like, maybe it's the corset. I'll just stand here a minute and I'll just like take a breath and I'll be all right. And so I was in there for a bit, and then I went back in the room. I was like, I feel okay. And then I was like, I don't feel okay. And I was like, I said to him, I was like, you've got to come and help me out of this corset because I can't deal with it. So we went up to the room, and it was up like 1,000,000 steps. Managed to get out of it all just as the vomit came, and it was explosively projectile.
That's the universe telling you something.
Yeah, the universe is trying to purge you of the day.
So also the fact that as your future husband, well, as your now husband is getting you out of your corset, your projectile vomiting, there's a photographer outside with a lens with a keyhole going, he'll finish off your album!
It'll finish off your album, though! I'm like, will this finish it off? Like this multicolored spray of like... So I was really, really sick. And so I was just there in like, just like some tights and my tiara.
So in a way...
Projectile vomiting.
In a way, you're saying this is like it's a problem, but really all that's happened is the day's just gone back on itself, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Because it
I'm the cat now.
started with vomit, it ended with vomit.
Yeah,
but you haven't got a cat coming in with a bucket of water going, it's all right, I'll get you back.
It's the circle of life.
So I sort of curled up in a little ball, and he was like, I better just go and like... So he went back to the party.
Fair.
And I was like, okay, I don't want anyone to touch me. I am like really not feeling this. I was like shivering. And so the thing was, like a few days before the wedding, my brother had food poisoning, and everyone was like touch and go as to whether he'd be well enough to come to the wedding. But then he was okay. So I think that we got the food poisoning from him. That everyone in the whole family is like, no, it was just the stress of the day. It was just the stress of the day that made you ill. It was nothing to do with. And I'm like, it was projectile.
Right.
I can't stress this enough. It was the worst sick I've ever done. Well, maybe not the worst, but because of the Vatican. But
Top 10.
Top three.
Ooh, top 3.
Maybe
Top
top 2.
Can you clip this, please, Jonty?
I want
I'd like
to like
to
a coming number 10.
So I think about an hour later, he came back and he started being sick as well. So it ended up with him in the toilet and me in the sink all night being sick. And then when we weren't being sick, we were just lying on top of the covers, curled in a little ball, shivering. And I was going, why is this happening to us? We're good people, aren't we? Are we good people? Why is this happening?
Oh,
And
no.
And then all night. And it
Please
was like,
tell
in the
me you
morning,
did it in the voice of a 1950s radio commentator. It's like,
I did.
oh gosh, I
good
can't
people,
believe
aren't
it,
we?
Stephen.
St. John,
Why?
we're good people, aren't we?
St. John.
Why does this happen to us, St. John? What did we do to ask for this punishment? Is God angry at us, Stephen?
I should have given more of the fate, shouldn't I, Stephen?
Stephen, I knew I should have bought that tombola ticket, but I didn't have any spare change. So, the next
I
day,
feel like I'm
obviously,
just
we
fucking
got up.
The chat's just gone, what? So the next story is the other time we were sick. Oh, wait, the Vatican, it's cool. oh, no, it's fine.
You know me so well.
The Vatican vomit, yeah.
So we got up the next day and it like obviously looked like a bag of shit and everyone's like, oh haha, you've been up all night. And I was like, yes, puking, don't talk to me, don't touch me.
Doing full of the chunder.
Like,
The photographer's
we had to
there,
drive.
photographing the sink.
Yeah. So we had to drive back. I say we, I didn't drive at the time. So he had to drive us back down to Surrey that day because we were going on our honeymoon the next morning at like 5 a.m. So we, on the drive, we had to keep stopping down the M1 on the hard shoulder for him to get out and be sick in the verge and then get back in and drive off. I'd stopped being sick, but he continued to be sick for the next 2 days. Which was fun. And he felt ill for the whole week. So, like, we were away for a week on the least romantic honeymoon anyone has ever had because, like he was ill the whole time.
Where did you go?
We went to Disney World in Florida.
Red
That's
flag.
a good honeymoon.
No, it's not.
It would have been great,
That's
except
not
I
a
spent the
romantic
whole
place to
week.
go.
It's not romantic, and I also spent the whole week worrying about my nan because I hadn't got any more information other than my dad's mumbled drunken thing saying she had cancer. I didn't know what kind or how bad or what the situation was.
Don't worry. She's got cancer, but it's gonna be fine. It's fine.
So I spent the whole time just.
I'm gonna tell you no more information about this. Bye.
That's it. Don't tell your mother. But when we got back, so the last thing I wanted to add into it was when we got back to the house, quite late on the Sunday after having to stop for him to be sick on the verge the whole way, the house was full of wasps.
30 red flags.
It's like,
The
it's
house
like you've been
was
invaded by a
full.
plague.
Of wasps. I'm not joking, they were in every room. So there was a nest in the attic and they'd eaten through the trap door into their house and filled the house with wasps while we were away. There were dead wasps clinging to the curtains. There were wasps flying around. There were wasps scattered across the floor. We had to clear out all of the ones we could from the bedroom and just shut the door and barricade it in so we could get some sleep. Because we had to be up again at like 4 a.m.
I don't know what's happened. It's fine. I'll watch it back.
Yeah, Mike,
basically,
you really should watch it back.
Okay.
Well, let me.
In fact,
basically,
let's see.
what happened was,
Mike, what do you think happened when they got back to the house on the Sunday?
Did the cat turn your house into a fortress?
If only.
didn't have a cat down there.
That would have
Like,
been.
what you need to think
better.
about is the story of Moses and all the plagues that invaded Egypt, and that is pretty much any gap you've missed in the wedding.
Right, okay. So
Yeah.
it's pretty, in terms of third act climaxes, I would assume, like, it's up there with, like...
I mean, apart from the angel of death coming down to take every firstborn, I don't know what else can make it worse. Also, for an atheist, that was a really good reference. Well done, Steph.
That was really
Proud of you.
And I said it without setting on fire, so clearly he's not watching that.
Yeah.
There's actually, in fact, Hannah, tell Mikey what was there when you got back.
Mike, when I got back to the house was full of wasps.
Are we doing a red flag per wasp or just in general?
I don't know if you could because there were so many.
Because we've currently we're at a nice round 30.
Oh, yeah, don't
We
do
just
anymore.
had to leave then the next morning and shut them in. And so when we got back from the honeymoon, the house was full of dead wasps. We had to just hoover them all up. Welcome back.
Yeah. I mean,
Did you say bye to the wasps as you left? Like, don't use
Yes.
all the stuff in the fridge. Bye.
Yeah, literally just had to shut the door and be like, well, have fun in our
Don't find
house.
the jam.
heavy on the
You don't eat
metaphors.
everything. And then from that day on, every winter, a new queen wasp would arise from somewhere in the house where it had been sleeping. So that was fun because it would be like, oh, what's that noise? It's coming out of the chimney. It's a big, massive wasp.
You know what I just realised? Do you remember months ago after the podcast, you were chased by a
Oh,
wasp
yeah, I was
around
chased
your
by
office?
another queen wasp. Queen wasps follow me around.
I mean, hindsight's 2020, but if you get wasps in the future, what you need to do is just stick a jam jar full of sugar water somewhere in the house, and they will all drown themselves.
Yes, I will do that next time rather than just shutting the door and leaving and never
Yeah,
going.
yeah, honestly, it works. My dad hangs them in the apple tree to stop them eating the apples.
He hangs wasps in the apple trees like a
No,
warning to the
no,
others.
not like a warning to the others. He hangs like,
That's a
hang on,
warning.
Michael, spitters are quitters. Spitters are quitters. There we go. No, he hangs jam jars full of sugar water in the tray. And then, like, at some point, he just removes the dead bodies and throws them in the bin. With, like, a big, like, yeah, fuck you, wasps. I won this round.
I am the eater of wasps.
Turns
Yeah.
out its hatred didn't stop with the Tenerife Mafia.
Yeah. You know, sometimes he packages them up and sends them to the Tenerife Mafia just as a reminder of who the fuck they think they
It's like
are.
sending 3 orange.
Heads, just the heads.
It's the equivalent of when the KKK send you 3 orange pips. It's just like you know you're next.
Oh, crime
I forgot.
Right.
What?
So Hannah.
Yeah.
That we've basically we've all got 10 minutes left now, right? So
You've all what?
we've all got 10 minutes to do our stories now, but that's fine.
Yeah,
That's-
sorry.
It was well worth the
I
wait.
did warn you it would be a long one.
How
But what I
how
would
did
say
you
is,
then
like-
stay with him for 18 months? Because it feels like the Monday.
It's a question I have asked myself a lot.
Can I just Beans? He just sent me a message. And he said, this feels too flippant to put in the chat. But on one hand, Hannah's story feels a bit like an early draft of The Corpse Bride.
Ooh.
He apologized.
Day for a
But at the same
glorious
time-
day.
What? Apologise?
I know, right? You're glorious man. You are man beast.
Thanks, Beamsy.
Wow.
What I would say is, listen to your instincts, people. Don't pretend that everything will be fine, and look out for those flags because they turn into worse ones. But I won't talk about those on stream. Yay!
Hannah Platt slightly
We need a
down.
wine night, Hannah.
What?
I said we
Thanks.
need a wine night.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
Loftus Spring.
You're not invited.
Oh.
Girl talk.
What you have to realise though, Hannah, is you're single now, which means you're free for Steph.
Well, I know I've been saving myself for her, and it's
Yeah.
like
Honestly.
it's taken
And for
ages.
Jesus.
Don't save yourself for him. He doesn't call.
No.
Like, I'm just telling you.
Just
How many
saying.
people have called his name? Don't answer.
Mm-mm.
Depends when you call it.
No one needs a man
Okay.
like that. That's a red flag.
Thank.
I mean, to be fair, with my Wi-Fi connection, it's no bloody wonder.
On that
Mikey.
note, Mike,
Mickey.
it's your turn.
It is.
So we go from wedding hell to sliding doors. So,
we
Mike,
do.
Yay!
go on, Mike.
You know that bit of like just after you graduate or leave education, and everybody goes, right, it's up to you now, and it's sort of like, oh, all right. Well, this happened to me in 2013 when I left university, and I knew I wanted to write plays and stuff, but I sort of spent the next 18 months like felt like doing a lot, but also not really doing much at all. And then, like, and it was just like, it's that sort of thing where you like, in order to get your play on at a place, you've got to like work in progress nights. You have to like pay like 50 quid, or like, and then you don't get the thing, and then they say, but you can still come in if you buy a ticket. That type of vibe. And so, yeah. But then, sort of in March of the following year, I made aware of some launch that's occurring. It's a Facebook event, and I say to my folks, there's this thing going on at Arena in town. It's some launch for someone's like tagged me in a post or whatever. Can I? Is it all right if someone takes me? And like, thing is, like with these things, you've got to book your transport in advance, because if you ping it on the family too soon, then it's like you're swimming upstream at that point. But,
like a salmon to mate.
Yeah. like a pelvically challenged salmon.
Pelvically challenged salmon.
I don't want any context. Continue.
But as it happened, Dad was like, "Well, I'm not. As it happens, I'm free, and I could take you." So it's like cool. And it's this thing that anyone can turn up at. Well, I've got nothing else on, so I may as well. And sort of the next day arrives, I'm like, I don't want to come. I don't want to go to this place because it's just me. I'm turning up on my own, and I don't know what I'm doing. But I thought, well, I can't back out because like people know I'm going, and that would look weird. I say people, family. I mean, I probably could have backed out. I can, but it's like, not that I'm preparing performance. No, that's really awful of me.
No one else would have known, Mike. We wouldn't have all been there going, do you remember that guy who didn't show up?
Yeah,
no. He didn't show up.
Very true. So I went, and I'm greeted at the door by a friend of ours, Kirsty Povey.
Yay!
And she says, "Are you here for Pride or the festival launch?" I'm like, "Well, I think I've lost my pride." But
hence why we're all doing this.
Yeah.
A little from column A and a little from column B.
Yeah. As it turned out, Pride was the film with Bill Nye in it, which is really lovely.
Oh, I love that film.
If you've not seen it, it's like, say, Dave, you would cry. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, Dave, you should watch it.
It's like shooting fish in a barrel, mate, that is.
Yeah.
It's about the miners' strike and the...
No, I will cry and be incredibly angry at the same time. So.
Is it the brass band one?
No, that's
the best.
No,
it's there's like the LGBT bookshop, and they all fundraise for the miners, and they go on marches with them. Andrew Scott's in it. It's great.
The best line of that film when Imelda Staunton, it's Imelda Staunton in it, who who turns to Bill Nye and just goes, "Bro, your gays have arrived," in a really deep, like Welsh accent. It's brilliant. So I say, "Well, I'm here for the festival." We're taken down into, you know by now that what I'm talking about is the launch of 1448, and it's a thing we all know and how wonderful it is. But of course, I didn't know it at this point because it's the benefit of stories, you see. Like the character always learnt something along the way. I go down there, and the first person I see is Pam and Danny.
Legends.
Legends. Now, years prior, I was in their youth theatre for a couple of years, did a couple of shows in them. It's like, what? I know you. This is mad. Like, it's like I should have known then that it was gonna be all right. And then sort of Neil Redding sort of gets up and does his spiel that we now know, and says usually this is the place for new artists to try their work out. And immediately I'm like, what? I found my people. Like I think, Joseph Gordon-Levitt in 500 Days of Summer, and he does the Hall and Oates dance around the fountain. That's what I feel like inside. However, I was like, we do the 1448 launch, and it's all wonderful. People are chanting, and I've no idea of context because like I've never done it before. But apparently it's not a cult, so that's fine.
It is. It's definitely.
It is.
It's just a collection of like-minded individuals who share the same beliefs and values.
Who live outside the norms of society.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid, man.
It was Flavor Aid. Come on, let's be fair.
all wearing the same clothing. And then
that was Heaven's Gate.
Yeah.
I know too much about cults.
And then what happens is, I take my own bottle of water. Like, don't know why, but I just do. And it's one of these squeezy bottles of like where the plastic is squeezy, and it's filled right up to the top of the brim. I get talking to Matt Beams,
Legend.
Of course, and like you think it was glowing in the chat what he said, but Matt Beams comes out of this story like a fucking messiah. So we're chatting, and I'm like, just be cool, just be like, these people have obviously like they've got their shit together, which is hilarious now because it's like we know 1448 and it's so laid back. But I didn't notice at the time. So I open my water because it's so full. Squeeze the plastic. The water comes shooting up into my face, like up my nose, to the point where I am like drowning myself.
Oh God!
I come out with this like water, gasping for breath, and Matt Beans just looks at me and goes, "Should get you some paper towels."
Aww.
And the two of us.
Matt Beams is such a better man than me.
What a legend!
Yeah, he is. He's a better man than we all could ever wish to be.
Because
He's the best of us.
Mike,
He is the best of us.
Mike, I would have been pointing and laughing.
Yeah, I mean,
Can we see what that'd be like?
It was just
I don't blame you.
kind of like.
It's everything I could have dreamed of and more.
So the two of us are sort of like bumbling together, trying to like clean up a like damp lap, and it's like really terrible.
Damp lap.
He's trying to be a gentleman.
Yeah.
Right. I don't usually go over to the person in the wheelchair and start feeling their penis. not since the court case.
Why did you do it in that voice?
That's my default Matt Beams voice.
To be honest, Beams, it's like you're on the screen. Then.
I'm looking forward to the message I'm about to get from him. Just going, what? Why?
And so,
Oh, he's typing.
Skipping ahead a bit to the actual festival, I get on. I'm a blogger, which is not a thing I've ever done before. So I sort of like learn on the fly, as it were. And it's like I turn up and I'm really nervous. Like the first person, there's this man in a Pack-a-Mac facing Tilson Studio, and I'm like, there's a man who looks like he knows what's going on. That man is Dave Pitt, ladies and gentlemen.
In a
How
pack
wrong were you?
Yeah.
It's like, and it's
I've got a clue.
like, it's just like 1448 as a festival. It's so mad because you meet all these people, but you don't really have time. You sort of say hello to them, and that's sort of it. Like, unless you're working closely, so it's like it's just mad. Like I was friends online with people for 6 months before I said hello to them at the next festival. So it's just like, what is going on?
I have a missive from Mr. Matthew Beams, and I'd like to relay it in this this recorded situation so that we are all aware of it. I'd like a formal apology from Dave Pitt for that voice. A written apology.
A written apology.
Also
Can
a
it be a
bespoke
poem?
pin. Also a bespoke pin badge.
Notice he wants an apology for the impression, not for the accusation that he was feeling a disabled man's penis.
Well, he knows what's offending him more.
Dave, please write him a poem apologising.
Oh,
An apology limerick.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Big
Picking his pen. Ready for it.
give me 30 or 40 seconds.
Just says, fuck you,
That's
cunt,
why
I'm
they
not
call him the
apologising.
Poet Laureate of Mousley.
It turns out that this festival, the Saturday of it, is my birthday.
Aww.
So we get like because it was the first festival. Like you don't sort of realise time means a lot. So I was there for 8 o'clock for the director's draw. Like I know now that's ridiculous because I didn't really have to be there until 9:45. So just so I got up dead early, and like everyone was like, "Are you sure you got to be in an arena this early?" I was like, "Yes, to make an impression, I've got to look like I know what I'm doing." So we do the present thing really early, and we go to get into arena that morning, and sort of everyone's going, "Happy birthday, Mike! Happy birthday!" Like everyone is wishing. I'm like, this is weird. Like how
We think as one.
yeah.
We are legion.
Like,
It's not a cult.
This is the first time I've met any. How do they know at all that it's my birthday? So we skip forward to I think it's the lunchtime, and I also shout out to John T in this bit because like in that first festival he was sort of like my sort of touchstone for like if everyone needed anything, like John T, you're a godsend, and like it was really lovely. And I asked him to put my coat on the back of my chair, and he says, this was about lunchtime, so it go on for a while. And he says, I'll just put it here just below the sign. And I'm like, what? So, when my sisters come to sort of like assist with like lunch and stuff, I found out that what they'd actually done when I left that morning was put a huge happy birthday banner in the back of my lounge chair. So, bearing in mind at this point, I'll just emphasise the point again. This is the most professional thing I've ever done. That lunchtime is basically I spent crying in the toilets that are ringing and going,
Oh no!
These people have got their shit together, they're very professional, and then you just make me look a bit of an idiot. I mean, like, they hadn't, like, but in the moment, like, you know, it just gets you a bit.
Oh.
And it's just like, so I sort of I spent a lot of the time thinking, I don't know what I'm doing, this is mad. And when you're at 1448, there's always that, what I like to call the sort of 4 p.m. lull, where sort of like everyone's in a tech rehearsal, and like, because there's no one around, there's no one to ask questions to or interview, so you can't really do anything. So I thought, well, like, I see a gap. I don't know what plural of writers is at 1448 festival, but let's go with gaggle. So there's writing for that festival with they picked Matt Beams, Tom Alsop.
Tom Alsop, yeah.
Was there, and Alison Dunn was definitely one of them, and
Yes.
other people. I thought, can I come and talk to you? They sort of let me into the inner sanctum, as it were. And do you remember this, Dave? I don't know if you do, but it felt like over what was about 3-4 hours, but maybe was only about an hour and a half. We just chatted and just shot the shit. Do you remember?
There was, in Alison Dunn's play, because it was set in a funeral home, there was this tree. And the idea was there were leaves on the tree that people had written memories on. So obviously the audience couldn't see that. They could see the tree, but they couldn't see the memories. But what the team came out, the design team came out and said was, you lot, you're all sitting around having a chat. Do you want to write some memories? So we were all sitting there writing real heartfelt memories on these leaves.
God. That's so cool.
Just chatting, like I say, for what seemed like hours. It was wonderful. That was when we formed the boy band Funky Gobos as well at that one point.
I forgot about.
Do you do the Funky Gobos?
Yeah, we formed a boy band called the Funky Gobos.
Yeah. And it's like no one had nothing to do. Everyone was overtired. It was just like mad, and like, I really thought like this might possibly stands a chance of being okay. It's sort of like, and the show happens. Now, I'm like, I don't think this is wrong of me to say. I mean, stop me if it is, but I naively assumed that out of the 14 plays, like that weekend, there's got to be a couple of ones that don't quite hit the mark, right? Like law of averages, surely. But like, how wrong was I? Like that entire festival, like it's the festival you do your womb play and everyone's covered in jelly. It sounds mad. It had so much heart and everybody cried. It's just insane.
That was the 1448 festival, which I was back in Telford to attend a funeral, and then I was like, right, I'm going to go over to Wolves and watch 1448 for the early show, and then I'll go back. I've got a party in Telford as well. And I was like, it's fine. I'm going to go here. And of the 7 plays, 5 are about death or bereavement. And I was there going, fuck you, theatre. Fuck all of this. Just off you, fuck. I was stood in this bar later that night. Someone's like, you're out. I was like, yeah, I've had a good day. I was in Awake in this place earlier. And then I've just seen a whole afternoon of plays about death. How are you?
Please talk to me about something other than death.
That is like that is what it's like, and it's sometimes you never know like what's going. There's a saying that like the writers build the scaffolding of the house. The festival's gonna be like that weekend. I think that's really right. And sort of like after there's the 1448 like wrap up party, and everyone sort of like
there's so much ice cream go to that speed.
Someone
outside, yeah, that was outside my house, yeah.
Well, so many ice creams go that fast.
We heard you say it first, Adam. It's all right.
Just making sure I didn't go insane.
Did you say it first? Oh my god, this is actually the worst. I'm so sorry.
In fact, I remember that weekend, most of your blogs had been published the week before by someone else.
Yeah. And then there's the.
In fact, have I heard this story before?
Hannah told it the last time.
Yeah, Hannah told it.
This is when Hannah was doing 4048 as a blog writer, yeah. I'm going to do that. One story. 1 week, I'm definitely just going to tell the story of my shit wedding. But just have it all like it was bees, not wasps. It wasn't a cat that threw up. A stray badger came in and attacked the bridesmaid.
I went to Subway.
It's going to be a fox.
We went to a wimpy.
I'm so focused on the story. I forget what's going on around me. Like a horse with blinkers. So usually what happens is people play, like last 48 Wolves we had about 300 years ago. Like, remember that massive game of charades? Like, that just started randomly, and like, it was like
every year I do this. I get up and I go. Come on, do it with me.
Oh, sorry.
One word.
First word.
First word.
It's Jaws. Oh, it's a film.
It's a film.
7
syllables.
Oh, 7.
Oh. You're such a prick.
Every year I do that. Every year.
So how this story ends up is I basically tell everyone that like let's see so I'm gonna go, and like kind of say bye to everyone, and everyone's really lovely. You know, I've met Stuart that weekend. Stuart Reed, and like is proper like mates for life, and it's just like really cool. And I'll go over to Neil, and he stops everyone, and he says, we were supposed to do this at the 7 o'clock meeting, but there's a birthday in our midst.
Oh no.
And the whole foyer arena just stands up and sings happy birthday at me. And you know what? Like, it sounds really hyperbole. I've sort of touched on this story before at the last 48. But that was sort of my sliding doors moment. I realised that actually it was always going to be okay. Because when you surround yourself with the right people, it always is.
Was it your birthday?
Dave, stop ruining a beautiful moment. That was beautiful. Mike's making poetry out of the air here. Fuck's sake, red flag, red flag.
Red flag on that behaviour.
It's fine. I think I'm bound to share a birthday with someone. That was sort of the time.
Am I right in thinking, Mike? Serious question. Am I right in thinking that you were very close to not coming along that weekend?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Mike,
isn't that always the case for like everyone?
Yeah, me too.
That, like when they go into,
I was coming up with every excuse possible to not turn up that weekend.
Yeah.
I was really scared when I first went to 4048 as well, because I didn't know anyone except Adam, and like I knew Hannah a little bit, but not very well. Like we knew of each other, but we didn't. And so I just kind of walked in and was like, "Hello, room full of people." But then everyone was like, "Hello," and I was like, "Oh, okay, everyone here's nice, cool."
Yeah, and another weird thing was that I've not experienced since is because it was the first Walls one. Unless you'd been over to Leicester a few months before, like nobody knew a lot of people, and it was just like really fucking odd. But ever since I did it,
Good.
Now I'm on the podcast.
Mikey, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay! That was
Before
lovely.
we go on to Adam's story, I understand that I owe someone an apology. I'm sorry, Beamsy. It was just a teensy joke.
Oh no.
Oh,
I'm sure it wasn't your fault. I'm sure it wasn't your fault Mikey's genitals were soaked. I'm sorry, Matt. I'll leave it at that.
How did you make it worse? I don't understand.
Don't become a lawyer.
Doug Dean, could you put a thumb up in the chat so we know you're still there?
He's still there because
Right,
he pointed out that he remembers that festival because he was band leading for that one.
He was.
I remember there
he was
being
like-
this synth on the stage with just
Yeah,
all these
he was-
wires, and it's like, how the fuck does anyone know what that does? Doug Dean
So
does.
Beamsy is
Yeah.
typing.
Also, remember, Stuart Reed dressed as a squirrel.
We all remember that. We've all been drunk. I'd like to just I'll read the missive from my client. Well, I mean, please refer to my preceding messages, which were, I think I'd like a formal apology from Dave Pitt, written apology, and a bespoke pin badge.
In 2 points in that poem, which I'd like to point out rhymed. It
was assonance. Let's be fair. It was assonance.
rhyme.
I say I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Beamsy does rhyme with teensy. It just does.
That
Twice.
doesn't make it okay.
Two lines
If
out
the
of
glove
the
doesn't
5.
fit, you must quit. Rhyming
Yeah.
sorts everything when it comes to courts.
Two lines out of 5 rhymed. No, sorry. 2 lines out of 5 were I'm sorry, Beamsy. So.
Well, no, it wasn't. Well, I'm sorry, Matt wasn't.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you know. If you
How can we trust a man who can't even read his own poem? I put it to you, the jury.
Right. Fucking hell, this is a long one.
Yeah, shall I actually stick to 10 minutes?
Yeah, try that. Adam, scary
Look,
text.
it's my fault, and you egged me on, so you
did.
can all take a bit of the blame.
So,
Adam, unwin.
Yay!
The scariest text I ever received. Cast your minds back, ladies and gentlemen, to the halcyon days of our youth. In fact,
that was our adulthood.
I was clean shaven still. I was a bright young lad of 16. I still had dreams. So I was working as I was doing stage work for a school production of Oklahoma. Absolutely brilliant show. Mainly remembered for me and everyone else involved because during one of the bits, one of the speakers stopped working. So me and the other stagehand, because we were in costume as well, it was during a big slow dancey scene. So we slow danced on together, got behind the speaker, fixed it, and slow danced off again. Because we're professional.
Yes, that's how they do it in the West End. I've seen it myself.
They do. During no matter what the musical is, it could just be Rent. They still slow dance on dressed as cowboys. So during the setup for it, I was sat on a hay bale about 5:30. I was sat on a hay bale waiting to sort some shit out before I go home, and I got a message from my neighbour. And I got a text message because it was the past and we still use texts. And it just said, "Now, don't panic," which is already not a good way to start any text.
Yeah.
It said, "Don't panic. I have the house keys, so come round." And it was, "I have the house keys. Visit to us first, and you'll be able to get in," with no further explanation.
Come on, you can't just leave it at that.
What the text would have been fine. What would have been fine as a text is, "Your parents have popped out, but don't worry, we've got a spare set of keys." That's all I needed to know.
Yeah.
This is like when the security guard at Birmingham Airport told me to expect more when I reached New York.
Yeah.
It's the warning equivalent of "I'm not a racist, but don't panic." But there's no reason to panic. So I immediately panicked.
It's like getting a message saying the blood will wash out.
Or
fine.
Or it's as a message as I wanted to my mum, which was I sent her a text saying, "Don't worry, I'm fine," and turn my phone off.
That's evil. You're an evil person.
As I said to her then, I'll say to you now, I wasn't lying. What's wrong? Your brain did everything else. I'm an innocent party in this. You need to have a word with your brain. I wish those were the words I'd said. What I actually said was, "Sorry, I thought it was a joke." Like the time I used my friend's phone to text his dad saying, "In the bath, thinking of you," which we've all done. We've all done.
Come on, fuck's sake.
It's fine. We've all done it. We've all done it.
Do you know what? We haven't.
Just because my childhood appears to have been more fun than you lot.
Because we already had jobs when you were doing this.
Anyway,
exactly.
So I get home and I get the key, and my next door neighbour Danny is like, she's a teacher. You think she'd know better? Which is there was a bit of an accident, but everything's fine. Your dad's gone to hospital. Again, that was all information I was given, and then just ushered into my house. The lack of context here is problematic. Because my brain's gone, right, I'm going to hunt through this whole fucking house for signs of the crime that has ripped my dad in two.
Yeah.
Because that's
where's the pool of blood?
Where's the pool of blood? Is there a window broken? Is there the remains of the attacker he rent asunder during the fight?
Is there something missing from the fireplace companion set? Yeah. We
didn't have a fireplace companion set at that point. What we had was a shitty gas fire. It was replaced with a lovely wooden one later on. But first,
is the front of it rent asunder and covered in bits of hair?
So you're imagining like a built-up fireplace where someone has fallen against it, their skull's cracked, and they put the body in a wood chipper.
Yeah.
No, that didn't happen.
Why does a fire need a companion?
Oh, it's because they're lonely.
Yeah.
You'd be lonely
Everyone
too.
needs a companion, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't the fire have one?
Yeah,
What's
Mike.
your problem with fires, Michael?
We need to get to the bottom of this.
Why do you need companions when you've got enough?
This fireplace needs a companion set,
Yeah.
Michael.
Why do you want the fire to be so alone?
And
Yeah,
why do you want
Michael.
why do you want it to be dirty? It needs a little brush and pan.
Needs his
It
little
needs
brush
that.
and pan, Michael.
Needs it.
Don't
And a
you-
pokey stick.
Don't you want to be warm again, Michael?
Or
Make
do you
America
prefer
warm
your
again.
fires dirty?
It's
It's all coming out now, Mike. You and your dirty fire fetish.
He loves a dirty fire, doesn't he, Michael? He loves a fucking dirty fire, you naughty boy.
No, it's gone too far. I don't like it.
You're a naughty,
I'll
you're a
red
naughty
flag myself.
bastard.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Just red flag, red flag.
Naughty
you can
bastard.
go off people, you know.
As I did with my neighbour for her lack of context. Bring it
I haven't
back
got
up.
a red
This
flag,
is-
so I'm gonna wave
No,
my
no, no,
straw.
no,
and
no, no,
that's
no,
a
no.
red flag.
I've worked it out. This is why he walks around with full bottles that are squeezy. Moment he comes up to a fire, he's like,
Be gone! Fire! Oh, yeah.
So come back to
fucking,
this.
I've got your fucking cards, Michael.
I'm just gonna see.
So,
I don't like it when you call me
Fire
Michael.
fetish. But, you know,
I
nonsense.
don't like it when you call me Michael. It makes
You got full named.
Have you got a middle name? I'm gonna make one up.
Yeah.
Michael Deirdre Southern.
I mean-
your dirty fire fetish.
Ah,
I mean,
I hope it's S, it's MFS.
Michael Deirdre South.
MDF! It's MDF! Your new nickname is Medium Density Fiberboard. Sorted.
What?
oh,
Southern doesn't begin with an F.
Oh, yeah, but shut up. I was really hoping no one would have noticed. Because the
Right,
second
I'll just get out there. I'm the dyslexic.
the second I made it, I was like, I need to keep going now and just see if no one notices.
I'm so impressed you've all got my surname right. This is entirely new.
I mean, I can't spell it right, but I know how to pronounce it.
According to Adam, it starts with an F.
No, it's one of those long S's you had in the Middle Ages, so it's what it looks like.
It's the Southern clan, the famous Southern clan with a silent F at the beginning of the surname.
For Southern, it's Dutch. It's Dutch.
It's Dutch.
They come from near the Hague.
Oh, dear me. Anyway.
Right.
So
yes.
anyway,
Oh yes, my
You were
Got
potentially,
about
searching-
3.5 seconds left of that 10 minutes now.
my potentially murdered father, which is the nickname of my autobiography. So I went into the house and I went upstairs and the just smell of swimming pools. And I was like, okay, that's not right. And then my mum phoned me. I was like, okay, so mum's phoning me. It's either good news or I'm so sorry. So this is a fun phone call to answer. The urge not to answer and reply with "I'm sorry, not to panic, but" was so high. But so I found out that my dad had gone to hospital because of chemical burns to his throat and lungs.
oh shit.
And it's a beautiful reason as to why. And so what my dad had done in an attempt to be the wonderful house husband that all modern men should be if they are married, was he tried to clean a toilet. In the process of cleaning a toilet, my dad had made mustard gas.
Oh no.
So what my dad had done had gone, right, I'm not an idiot. I have my dad literally has a degree in chemical engineering.
I'm
this
sorry. And your dad's first sentence is, I'm not an idiot.
Yeah, like he genuinely has a degree in chemical engineering. This should be this should be well within his wheelhouse. This should be a doddle. So he retold the story to me later. He was like, right, flush, sorted. That gets rid of everything else. Bish bash bosh. Put in the toilet cleaner. Oh, he's doing this also in the ensuite, which ensuites, as we all know, traditionally are small rooms. And when doing this sort of thing, it's advised to keep the window open. But he's a man. I know better than that. Close the window. In fact, duct tape it up. Should I put the extractor fan on? No.
Did he not
It's
do
running
the old
foam in the extractor fan.
tying a scarf around your mouth thing? That's what I do with bleach.
This man is a chemical engineer. He don't need no scarf.
tie a towel around my mouth and I'm getting in between all the tiles.
He's thinking, what's going to happen is, if anything does happen, I'm a chemical engineer. I'm just going to bite the atoms apart with my big chemical engineer teeth. Ang, ang, ang. Like,
I don't think that's how they do it, Adam.
so he put in like the cleaner, and then there was forgetting there was bleach in the bowl from the system down, and one thing leads to another, and I do believe that creates hydrochloric gas. Yum yum yum. As we all know from science, hydrochloric acid is a bad thing. When it's in a gas form, it can get into your eyes and permanently blind you, and also scars your lungs. Lucky for us, he's not a complete fool, my dad, and he got out of the room. Not before scarring his...
Before.
Getting a few big...
This will get me off work for a week!
This smells dangerous.
Wait, but was he working? Was he working as a chemical engineer? Did he have to ring them and go, "Soz,
No,
friend,
this is a time...
I made mustard gas in my toilet"?
So he would. No, he wasn't working as a chemical engineer. He was doing something else. Yes, answer.
At what point did your dad get sacked from Portland Down?
In 1954, where he tried to do this.
To be fair, Mike, that promoted him because he had the best hit rate of anyone.
Right. Okay.
They were like, "We've spent all this money on a lab. We could have just given Harvey some bleach and let him get on with it."
But all right, here's a Portaloo. Here's a box of household chemicals. Go on, have fun, Marge. Have fun. Go on, get you. Because Portland Downs, we all know, is near Solihull. So
I can also imagine Adam's dad going, No. You shut the windows on the gas chamber before you put the gas in. Come on.
Oh.
And then
That went too far.
Coughing. That's why I'm moving on.
I'm waving my red flag.
Coughing. Ambulance is called, goes off there. Which also, because during the ambulance call, it was said it was like a gas problem. Fire ambulance. I think it said fire ambulance. The flaming Enor came as well. So they had to full respirator, had to go in and clear everything out. A couple of weeks before this, my dad had made an error putting petrol in a new diesel car, and we made a joke that it was in the paper. We'd made this joke and we printed off Harvey Unwin made a mistake on a big bit of A4, put it in the Shropshire Star and gave it to him. So we opened the paper and went, "Oh, it's in your paper." A couple of weeks after, we told my dad that this story was in the paper. And he went, "Oh, very funny." We were like, no, it's on the front cover, it's Shropshire Star. And I'd like to read for you now the report that appeared on the front cover of the Shropshire Star.
Please tell me it says Harvey Unwin made a mistake.
I wish it did. It says it's somehow worse. So it is dated March the 10th, 2011. Shropshire Star. This is on the front page. It's small on the front page, but it's on the front page. A Shropshire man has been taken to hospital with breathing difficulties after cleaning his bathroom with industrial strength cleaners. 10 firefighters and 1 ambulance crew were called to the man's house in Ranelagh, Telford, just after 8:30 p.m. after he mixed hydrochloric acid with a toilet cleaner. The man, believed to be in his 40s, he was, but nice and vague, was treated by paramedics at the scene after inhaling the fumes given off by the chemicals. I love this. Tim Hughes, watch manager of Telford Fire Station, said the man had to be led from the house by his wife after he reacted to the noxious fumes. When we arrived, the male had been evacuated and taken to hospital by land ambulance, which I love the idea that there was a chance he went by sea.
In Telford.
It was caused by fumes.
We put him on the hovercraft and set him on the...
Oh my god, if that was an option every day.
Then also, I just love the thought of him going, "Have we removed the male?"
Yes, he's gone on the landbulance.
It was caused by fumes from mixing household chemicals whilst cleaning. Mr. Hughes added firefighters ventilated the home and added the woman inside the house was unharmed. I'd like to also add, the Shropshire Star has not accepting any comments on the article, which makes me think that someone named and shamed.
Somebody wrote underneath it in capital letters, "Harvey Unwin made a mistake."
And on my dad's 60th birthday, I have a copy of the article. It's going on a cake. I'm printing off on big letters, and it's going on the front of the cake. Because I told him when it happened, it was going on a cake, and it's going on a cake.
Is it possible to reproduce it in like sugar paper so you can also eat it?
Yep,
Excellent.
and I will do. It's going on a cake.
Oh my God,
You just need the article on a cake, and then the sugar paper to just say Harvey Unwin made a mistake. That you hand out to guests as they arrive. Oh my God!
The little Harvey made a mistake could be on little ones on cupcakes.
Like,
my
you
God,
need
we
like
made a
pin
mistake.
badges. Everyone has to wear a Harvey Unwin made a mistake pin badge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can we get
Your
Harvey
card to him needs to say, "If I'm not mistaken, you're 60." Like the possibilities.
No, it needs to be the man believed to be 60.
Believed to be in his
Can,
60s.
can we also create Harvey Unwin merch for the podcast?
I'm very happy to. I think he might not be happy, but fuck it.
He did come and see us before.
He did. He has seen us twice. Yeah. So the second time when we just ranted about the Conservatives being twats, he looked very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It was
Sorry, Harvey.
No, it's fine. No, you're saying his name wrong. It's the man believed to be in his 40s.
Sorry, the man believed to be in his 40s.
So the man who's given himself some form of horrific brain injury by inhaling poisonous gas votes Tory.
It's worse than that.
Yes.
I feel like from Hannah's comment, she wants to do an expose.
You all know.
In his 40s,
We've talked about it loads. We've talked about it loads on the
Isn't
podcast
he
that
like-
your dad was a parish councillor or something, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, that's different. That's not party politics. That's I run the fate.
Tell that to the parish
He has-
council people
Yeah.
because
He has
they do
no
not stop
authority
coming round
here,
here with their litter
Jack
picking.
He was chairman.
He runs the fight, but in a really right-wing way. So there's,
In fact,
Yeah.
I'm
There's no
going
foreigners.
I'm going to very happily defend his parish council work. He insisted it was no longer a chairman but a chairperson, and all the money that he was given, because they're given a wage, these fucking useless sponges. All the money that him and my mom were given for it, they were like, no, we're not going to do it. Instead, they put it into giving out a free calendar showing off everything in the parish every year to every single person in the parish. Yeah, but they're still pricks because Tory. They're not. They're lovely people. Yeah, I mean, you all feel bad now, don't you? Yeah. And they put on a free fete every year for
I don't feel
everyone.
bad about
A
anything
free
because
fete.
I spend all fucking days fending off accusations of being a Tory from you people. I don't feel bad for
you?
anyone.
I've no recollection of this at all.
Doug Deans is saying, buy him a t-shirt with the words "I run the fate" printed on it.
See, my mum is now the chairperson, so I'll get it for her.
Is she?
Yeah.
I would very much like a
better-
t-shirt that says "I
You get a t-shirt.
I run the
fate."
You
I
get
run
a
the fate.
t-shirt with "Who run the fight?" Harvey Unwin.
Who runs the fate?
You could get him a T-shirt saying Harvey Unwin made a mistake, and then just superimpose a picture of him and Boris Johnson shaking hands.
There is. He doesn't have that photo, but he does have. There was a Tory councillor who ended up in hot water, and the photo of him in like a group shot with my dad in it ended up on the front page of the Express, and my dad was like, "This is," because my dad lost him in a council vote on a coin toss. And my dad hates him as well. Like, he was like, "This is people think I'm going to be part of him." No, I hate him.
How can a coin toss be?
It's like,
That can't
exactly the same number of votes. An election to decided on coin tosses.
That's
it's like
insane.
Burr and Hamilton all over again.
Our system is
Also-
highly flawed.
Also, guys, Harvey Unwin made a fate. Oh my god!
Also, because he was a chemical engineer, do you know in shops when you get that, sometimes you get the fish that's like sealed really tight into the plastic. He invented
Yeah.
that.
No way.
He invented
Wow.
the process that makes that.
That's
What
really
he
clever.
invented
Can't
fish.
clean a toilet properly.
Yeah, he invented. Also, do you know in like when you're in
Wow.
do you know how sometimes you get the big bales of hay but they're wrapped in white plastic and not black plastic? He invented the white stuff as well. His team did.
Wow.
when you said fish, my mind.
Sorry,
My
Michael.
mind, when you said fish, my mind automatically went to the plastic paper mood fish.
Yeah, that's
To be
what.
fair, yeah,
That's what my dad's famous
I'm
for.
angry.
He's a strong believer in.
Oh, I'm jealous.
That's so weird. That people sit around the Christmas dinner table going, oh, I'm feeling conceited.
I can see it.
Why?
It's always a really weird thing, like, oh, I'm feeling mischievous.
Yeah, and you always get the one passive aggressive that's like, oh, I'm jealous. Yeah, we know you all are.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh.
Apparently, Auntie's obtuse.
Yeah, I'm feeling
I don't know what
egregious.
According to this, I'm made in China.
When your dad invented the white wrapping, did he just take the black wrapping and spray it white?
Yeah.
And then go, it's a new patent?
He got
He
quid
didn't
for that.
breathe in the
didn't he?
fumes of the spray paint, did he?
Yeah, that's how he thought of the fish wrapping. He was like, vacuum seal fish! Ah! Yeah, he gets a quid per year for his patents.
That's really cool.
Not really, it's a quid.
Yeah, but it's fun to be on a.
He probably picks up more cash than that.
I do.
Well, just from the floor.
Yeah, from the floor of trains.
I do like the idea that the young Adam's life was spent like playing with some blocks on the floor, and then his dad just running and going, "Vacuum sealed fish."
No,
Eureka!
What my young life was spent was every time we were in Asda, I'd go up to the fish and go, "Boom, Dad's fish."
I'm not comfortable with the phrase "Dad's fish."
We never ever bought it because we don't support our family's endeavours.
Yeah,
I'm
not how we
really,
roll as a
I'm actually
family.
really impressed that this story is still online. I'm definitely going to favourite this page. Add to bookmark.
Can we get a picture of it for the socials, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Right, come on, we've got to move on. Adam Unwin, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay!
Right, we've literally got 3 minutes each. Steph.
I've eaten all my crisps.
You
This
might
is
have 3
trophy.
minutes. I've got a story to tell.
Steph Loftus.
Yay!
So, my story is about why you shouldn't laugh at an old man dying in a park.
I've fucking forgotten.
I missed your bit at the beginning as well. This is the first I've heard. Okay, cool. I'm ready for it.
Wolves Promotion Day. There was a parade through town, and there was also a celebration in West Park.
Oh,
Now, my
the
mum-
last promotion day.
Yes, the last
I'm with you.
promotion
Yeah,
day.
I'm with you. Yeah.
So, it was a bank holiday Monday, which I think was a poor choice of days. It should have been the Friday, and then we got all weekend to party. But no, they were like, no, we're doing a Monday. Naughty. So we went to West Park because my mum was still working for the council, so she managed to get tickets because, you know, #connections. And so we got tickets. Now we went to West Park. My brother had disappeared somewhere with his friends. There was me, my mum, and my dad.
He'd gone to the comma beer.
You know what? I don't know where my brother was, but at some point he rocked up, and I don't really remember. But I have video footage that he did. So we went. We were in a queue. The queues were packed to get in because they decided to only open 2 entrances to West Park because genius. And so
Did they not realise how popular Nuno is?
Well, exactly. I did wave at him and he waved back. I was very excited.
I was in town, and town was rammed. I mean,
Town was rammed, and like
fucking mental it was.
so good. Like people were climbing on bus shelters, people were hanging on lampposts. Like it was mental. And so like we got to West Park.
Sky
we were in a queue.
Sports News was down there, do you remember?
I know. I know. The hot one, is it Peter Greaves? Is that who? He's a bit of a silver fox now. All I know is I follow him on Instagram. I want that man's children. So anyway, we were in the queue. Moving swiftly on.
Clip that, please, John.
So, and then somebody came down the queue and was like, guys, we're opening another entrance, and people ran. But my dad, being the person that he is, went, no, we have picked this queue. We shall stick to it. It was still the longest queue, and we took forever to get in. But we got in. So we found a little spot to stand. It was a bit far back, but it was okay. We could still see everything. Then, like, there started to be, like, acts come on. So Beverly Knight came on, obviously. She did a couple of songs. And while she was singing, there was shots of the crowds around town. And, like, they were doing a sort of, oh, this is where the Wolves team are now. So they were like showing them like getting ready to get on the bus and then getting on the bus.
It's like the Santa tracker, but with your football
Honestly,
team.
it was so exciting. So Beverly Knight came on. Then I'm sure Dickie Dodd was there, and nobody really cared.
No, absolutely, Dickie Dodd was there. Like, Dickie Dodd was going to be there.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, they just
Dickie
kind
Dodd.
of go through a list of who's unpopular, but they're cheap. Dickie Dodd. So they're getting in. Then Tito Jackson came on, looking like he'd rolled through the Wolves Museum because he was just covered in Wolves memorabilia and was going, "Hi, I love the Wolves football team." And everyone was like, "Have you heard?" Name 3 players.
Be
Off
honest.
The top of your head, name 3 players. Like,
Yeah.
like, no one believes you.
Tito, who's Don Goodman? You don't know, dear. Fuck off. Go on. Fuck off. Fuck off back
What's
to
that
your
stand called?
fucking rant.
What's that stand called? If you don't get it right, you've got to leave. So he sang a song with no one really knew what was going on. Then the parade started. So obviously, while people are singing, the big screens aren't showing the bands anymore. They're showing the Wolves bus going through town. Then Reef came on. Now, I was very excited because of that one song that no one really knows the title of, but everyone...
Put your hands up.
Place your hand. It's called Place Your Hands.
That's the one.
Oh, place your hands.
That's a very, very polite
What's
way.
the next bit?
On my hole, yeah.
When your hands
Through my soul.
Oh, right now. I can
Very
carry on.
very polite way of inciting a rave when you think about it.
So they started singing.
I love that song.
Put your hands up.
Place your
Place your hands.
Place your,
Just place them
place your hands.
on my. Let's place our hands. Carry on.
Cool. So Reef.
I don't know anything about football, so I just have to interject when it comes to Reef because that's something I know about.
Well.
I'm wearing the shirt.
They were singing songs. I've just realised, yeah. They were singing songs from their new album, and no one in Wolverhampton cared.
No.
No one in the world cares about the new album. We want that one song.
Yeah.
To the point where people were going, "Sing the song."
Yeah. But people in the crowd were going, "Oh, place your hands."
They sang a couple of songs, and then they were kind of like, "You just want the song, don't you?"
Yeah.
The only one we know. So
It's like
they
there's
sang
like
the
that
song.
sketch on Big
Flash,
Train where
Big
it's like Streets of London, Streets of London, for like 4 hours.
Wheatus turned up to my SU to do, and everyone turned up to essentially listen to a 20-minute long version of Teenage Dirtbag.
Yeah, just play
That's all
Teenage
you need.
Dirtbag 4 times.
Teenage
Yeah,
Dirtbag and a little respect, and then they can go
Yeah.
home.
yeah. We
No
don't
one
need anything else
no
from
one
you.
needs- No.
This is what we
So-
came for.
Reef came and went. And by that point, the Wolves bus had arrived at West Park. People were buzzing. So they called everybody on
Did it manage to
individually.
park? Because whenever I'm down there, I never
Oh, no.
can.
Well, I think
Looking like me.
it's actually got for the Wolves. So they called them on. Everyone booed for Danny Bath, and I've never worked out why. It was promotion day. They went Danny Bath, and everyone was going,
Boo!
Poor bloke who liked one of my Instagram posts once, and I've never quite got over it. So yeah,
Steph, while
Yeah.
you were in the park, I was outside KFC
Classic
in
bird.
Wolverhampton, right?
Is there a point to
watching,
the story?
yeah, because what you said about Danny Barth, Connor Cody, let's be honest, was a donkey.
Oh yeah, he was rubbish.
And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, Nuno came up, went, just play back 5 yards, and he become a legend overnight.
Yeah.
And I remember the buzz pulling up outside KFC, and everyone going, "There's only one Connor Cody, one Connor Cody." And I always remember thinking, God, 2 years ago they were asking for this guy to be strung up,
Yeah.
and he's like, he's a legend. now.
It's surprising what promotion party a bit of sunshine and a beer will do to you.
Can I also say, John T has just said, because he was living above the Goose in the town at the time,
Nice.
so he's put the photos that he's took of that day on the Discord.
Oh, bless his cottons. Like, we'll put those on the socials.
Yeah.
So all the players came on. Nuno did a speech that no one could hear, but everyone just went batshit crazy anyway. And then they left. Now, we were stood. Now, bear in mind, I can't even remember what month it was, but it was baking hot.
Yeah.
Like, I have never known heat like it. And we were in the sunshine. I'd put my factor 50 on. I was ready for the day. And in front of us, there was like a family and an elderly gentleman. Now, this elderly gentleman all of a sudden just collapsed. And people were like throwing water over him. Like St. John's appeared from nowhere because St. John's
Syndrome's ambulance.
appeared from
I bet
nowhere.
they were dead pleased because they always love it when something happens and they can actually do something rather than just sitting on their little seats. Then quickly, we've trained for this day. Quickly.
Joan, it's our time. It's our time.
Does he need a triangular bandage?
Yeah.
Quick.
Like like they'd prepared for this. They'd paid their dues with bee stings. They were ready for action.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like,
So ready.
They've done wash.
right? Like
They've done wash sting as well at Hannah's house.
Syndrome, is it bee stings with bicarb or is it vinegar? Syndrome?
My
Give
dad,
them both on.
my dad was a first aider, and when for the local football team, he used to be the bucket man. And the goalkeeper on this Sunday morning jumped up, tipped the ball over the bar, landed, and he's landed on the side of his foot. And the St. John's ambulance were there because there was a fun day going on at the same time. The St. John's ambulance came over and went, "He's just sprained it," and my dad lost his shit. He was like, "He's broke it. I heard it break."
Oh.
St. John's was there.
No, don't
"No, he's
yell
just
at
sprained
me.
it."
Yell at Syndrome. It's not my fault.
It was the one time I heard my dad really swear when he just went, "Go over there, you fucking wanker."
I don't believe anyone. I don't
That's
believe
angry.
people who do St. John's Ambulance understand what swear words are. I'm sorry, Syndrome, what's a wanker? How is it? Well, I've been known to dally.
Oh, is that what it is?
so. After that little
So
tangent.
anyway,
Let's go back
So-
to the dying man.
The little old man was dying in the park, and my dad and I decided to go on a 5-minute rant about what a dickhead. It's hot. Why wouldn't you stay hydrated? What an absolute numpty.
Oh, God.
What a fool. What an absolute fool of a toque. As a stretcher came out and took him away. And I was going, oh, people definitely heard us. So
oh no.
the afternoon West Park, as far as the Wolves concerned, kind of came to a close, and then it was like a fun day in the park. My dad went, "Beers," and I went, "Beers ahoy, father!" And we toddled on up.
Please tell me that's the exact words you used. In my head, you're dressed as a sailor going,
Imagine if I had said that phrase. I would have like unmitigated like Tory like things for
It's quite
a
obvious
year.
that I said, ironically.
But it was a high five.
No,
Can we just can we just talk about the fact that the last music this man heard
Where's
Reef, place your hands.
was Reef doing their new stuff? Oh.
I killed him. So,
He's there like, just play that one song.
I'm just so bored.
I'm pretty sure he was fine. Like, I'm so
Yeah.
sure he was fine.
Probably
So,
the sunstroke, right?
Right. So, we toddled on up to town, and we got to the Lichgate Tavern. It is my dad's favourite place on earth. I was drinking pints of Nuno all afternoon. It felt very appropriate. And then
I don't know if you've ever seen a wheelchair used to get into the Lichgate Tavern, but
it's like an
fucking
event.
hilarious.
Everyone stops to watch.
Yeah.
It's
Do you know I know it's hilarious because
Did you
I've done it.
What is it a lift? What is it like?
Ooh,
Like,
it's, yeah.
What looks like a Crystal Maze dome,
Yeah.
Ooh.
but with less gold papery bits.
But also,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it was built in like the 9th century.
Oh god.
Right.
The pub,
So,
not the lift.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not on like a
Yeah,
phone
they're
system with
putting the lift.
Yeah.
They're putting the lift in.
So,
They're putting the
Imagine your
lift in
house,
about
Hannah,
1428.
there's like 5 monks there just
Yeah.
pulling on ropes, hoisting you up.
They ring a bell as you descend.
Yeah.
Honestly, if they don't change it to that now.
But it's like it's like all the corridors are really narrow, and there's that
Yeah.
bit, isn't the Mike, where
There's
you come
that
out
one
of the
corner.
disabled lift to go to the room upstairs, and it's like proper.
I honestly thought I'm not going to be able to get into my own play here.
But yeah, so we got to the Lichgate. Obviously, cheese and onion carpet got it.
Oh god,
Nice.
yeah. Can I just say, possibly the best pub in the area. I mean, we are blessed in Wolverhampton with the Lichgate, the Posada, the Great Western. But the Lichgate and the tap, right? But the Lichgate is just.
It's just full of old men, and you're not allowed to swear or sing or shout. Everyone
Yeah.
is civilised and reads the paper.
Is it a black country pub?
It is a
Yes,
black
Black
country
and
pub.
Brown pub.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
black
have
and
a
brown.
very
However,
yeah.
what they do allow you to do is order takeaway to the pub,
Yep.
and then they'll give you another pub. And I think that's
So
great.
my
miss
favourite
those
pub
days.
is, which was my local, is the King's Head, which is fucking miles away now. But it's a black country pub, but then like two 28-year-olds took it over and were like, just don't be a knob, but we're gonna have a lock in till 1 a.m. and we're gonna throw these beer mats at each other. Do you want to join in? It's like fuck yeah, instant favourite pub.
So we spent all afternoon and the evening there. At some point, my brother turned up. I don't really remember, but I know it happened. So my dad was like, "Shall we go home and order a takeaway?" I was like, "Dad, that is a banging idea. I would give my right arm for a curry right now because I am
Curries ahoy, father!
curries ahoy."
Sorry.
So we got in the taxi. Now, we got home at 6:30. I was my father, my mother, and I went to separate parts of the house. My dad went and sat downstairs. My mum went upstairs to get changed. I apparently went, "I'm checking out, guys," and just got into bed. 6:30 on a summer's day. I was like, "No, I'm good." My mum remembers. Right, and how I can take the right order. So I went to bed 6:30. I was like, "I'm good. I'm done. Curry will have to be another day." My dad woke up at 4:00 in the morning in his coat downstairs in the living room.
Oh my god!
He went upstairs to where my mum
Go, Tom!
I love Tom.
Passed out on the bed. It gets so much better. Was passed out on the bed with only one shoe.
Like that's as far as she got. She'd be like, right, take this off, and then gone.
I'll just plug my phone in. I'll just lie down on the.
Oh, I love that your dad was like, I'll just have a little sit here before I order the curry, and then it's like 8 hours later.
8 hours later.
I tell you what, that statue's getting closer and closer.
I think put him on the big os.
Yeah.
No, Tom.
Yeah.
High fiving, Eiffel Tower.
So the next morning, I woke up, and when I tell you, I felt like death warmed up. I was like, "This is not okay. I now need to go to work."
Oh God.
Oh no.
So I got to my place of employment.
Oh, she's paused.
And,
Oh,
in the room,
you're
and
back.
I'm here. I walked in the room, and the guy I work with went, are you all right? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine, don't worry about it. I think I went a little bit heavy on the Wolves promotion party. And he was like, oh, okay then, don't worry about it. So started through the day and started to sweat.
Oh no, the
Oh, no.
sweat.
I was like, this isn't good. The other person I was working with was like, do you need to go for like a break? Because you've gone kind of like greyish. You're good. And I was like, I think I am, but I've got some water. I'm okay. It's because I haven't had breakfast. So I was writing on the board because I was preparing for the next part of the day, and all of a sudden I opened my eyes and I was flat on my back with two people stood over me going, I don't think you're good. And I was like, I don't think I'm good. Then I went
Oh
through it.
shit.
And so I was sat there in an office doing this, going, I don't think it's the Nuno. Like, and
Is it wrong of me to suggest that I can't wait until this episode is over? So we can get over the trauma.
I feel like we've all just like vented this week. So yeah, I was sat there in the office, and the first aid arrived and went, "You going hot and cold?" I went, "Yeah," and he went, "Feel a bit dehydrated?" I was like, "Yeah, really dehydrated, even though I've drunk loads and loads of water." And he was like, "You're not having like any stomach problems or anything, are you?" And I was like, "Well, I've been sick." He went, "Yeah, you got sunstroke. You need to go home."
Oh no.
In that moment, I had a little flashback to the little old dying man. But this time, it was me on the floor. And he was going, what a knobhead? What absolute dick? What a fool? I feel like the universe watched me make fun of a dying man, and then went,
Oh, it's like that, is it? Mm.
Your fish says you are irony.
You know those Greek parables that are just perfect.
I literally flew too close to the sun.
I had heat stroke once, and my mum just went, "You'll be fine. Give me a head, cold tap underneath," and they held me there for a bit until I was like asking her to stop because I was too cold. So, well, you've learnt your lesson.
I'm not sure that's what you're supposed to do.
And that
It's
is
not.
why you don't make fun of an old man dying in a park.
Steph Loftus, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, the whole first half of that story, I was like, that sounds really fun, but I've experienced Leicester's title winning party, so it's just it's only promotion, isn't it?
Give you time. Give you time.
Unless you'll get promoted again, yeah, probably.
I said to the guy that was standing next to me outside KFC, I went, I'll see you in a few years for the Premier League and the Champions League. And he went, yeah.
Okay.
Will you both be on Zimmer frames at that point, or are we?
I had quite a lot of chicken.
I did a lot of chicken.
We've been going 2 hours. Do you really
should probably
want
stop.
Do you really want another story, or should we just end it there?
Oh, I forgot we hadn't had one story left.
We've got
That's
Dave's
what I
then.
mean.
How long's your story, Dave?
That
I
sounded
don't
really
know.
mean, Adam.
Yeah, I did. I feel really mean. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Now I feel
I don't-
bad. I thought we'd been off 4 or 5 months ago.
Right? Shall we put it? If I do it, shall we put a timer on it? Right?
Okay.
5 minutes.
All right, I've got a timer.
Right.
on.
Do anyone remember the first show where someone went, "It was really great, guys, but I'm not sure you need the 5th story."
I've got a timer.
Right.
on.
Right. Are we ready? Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunday
Dave
League.
Pitt, ladies and gentlemen.
Right, this
Yay!
is just eating into my time.
Yeah.
Right. Sunday League.
Fingers on lips.
Me and 3 other guys decided that we were going to run a Sunday League team. All right. Obviously, we had more people than that take part because you need at least 11. But we were running a Sunday League team, and I said, you can't guarantee that you're the best team because obviously other players and all that sort of stuff. But you can guarantee that you're the best run team. And I've got a level 3 in business administration at GMVQ level. If you want to send a fax and you want a transaction report, I'm your man, right? So I'm like,
And I do. I
this
do want the
is
transmission.
going to run like a dream, right? We go to our first league meeting. You have to go to a meeting every month, and you get fined.
Like an AGM.
Yeah, but it's a monthly
With
meeting.
Jammy Dodgers.
Yeah.
MGM.
You get fined if you don't turn up.
Wow.
So we go for our first meeting, and they go, "There's a lot of new teams in the divisions. If you've got any problems, any issues, any queries, just let us know. We'll help you." And then a voice from the back from one of the other teams just goes, "Yeah, but they'll still fine you."
Oh, dissent.
Oh.
And you could tell the people who ran the league weren't happy at that, but everyone else burst out laughing. And I thought, I was not playing football. I'm a bad footballer. That's not my position. I've said before, I've got a level 3 in business administration. You get me to do the paperwork, yeah? So, every game, when you're home, you get a sheet of paper. You have to put the list of the team on, yeah? Put the team names down. You have to give it to the opposition. They put their team names down. They give it back to you. You give it to the ref. Ref keeps it for the game. End of the game, ref puts the score on. Yellow cards, red cards, blah, blah, blah. Hands it back to you. You then have to get the other team and you have to grade the ref
Oh.
from 1 to 100, right?
Oh, that's a big scale as well.
Yeah, and then
1
as
to 5, you could understand.
Yeah.
And then, as the home team, you then have to put that into an envelope and send it to the secretary of the league.
Can I say,
This is very
be
involved.
This should be a game mode on FIFA.
Yeah, it should.
Yeah.
I
It
would be
should.
all over this.
The thing is, if anything goes wrong in any of those stages, you get fined. And it has to arrive at the secretary of the league by Tuesday.
Oh, shit.
And it's Sunday.
Otherwise, she got cross.
Yeah. So, I'm like,
Question.
yeah, go on.
Sorry. Is this part of the FA pyramid?
Yes. So the first thing you have to do, they actually tell you to run a Sunday league team costs about £1,500 a year.
Right.
And that's like FA fees, league fees, strips, training materials, pitches, refs. That's just the basics. And then there's like admin costs and all that stuff. So you need at least £1,500 a year.
Effectively, the end of this journey is Champions League final.
If we're doing Football Manager, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But like,
No,
so
no.
that could be the
End of this
It's not.
journey.
It could.
End of this journey is quite an eventful quarterfinal over at Four Ashes.
Lovely.
Right, but that's not part of this story. That's another story. Anyway, this is definitely not going to fit into 5 minutes. So, if anything goes wrong in that process, you get fined. And I was like, hang on, we've got to mail it and it's got to get there in 2 days, and it should, but you never know and you can't guarantee that.
Yeah.
And the guy who was helping me run the team said, it's fine. The guy we've got to send it to, he lived 8 doors away from his house. So he's like,
Oh my
what I'll
God.
do, give me the letter and I'll post it. Brilliant. Right. So we have our first home game. We have our first away game. We have our second home game. We have our second away game. And then we go to the next league meeting. And I open up the piece of paper because they give a note to every team. And we've been fined £20. And I'm like, but I've got a level 3 business administration.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Excuse me. I have a level 3 business administration. This is bullshit.
We've been fined £10 twice for 2 home visits.
What?
Hey?
We've been fined for home visits because my mate went and posted the letter through his letterbox.
What? But
Oh, and that's not the official channel. Right.
So I pointed out, and I said to them, but what if we send it through the mail and the mail is late? You'll get fined. But if we get it to you...
how is it any different? Whose hand pushes it through the door? Why does it have to be a special mailman hand that pushes it through the door?
Hannah, it's not about the hand.
This is Sunday League football, and you have to do it correctly.
It's about the feet, Scott.
There was a blazing row where they insisted. Oh, Steph's gone. They insisted. No,
No, Adam's gone.
Adam's gone. Sorry. Sorry,
Because
Steph.
we look so similar.
Yeah. They insisted.
With the cat.
Now, bearing in mind, if you play in the Premier League, you have squad numbers. Yeah. There was one point where they insisted that the teams went out with the numbers 1 to 11 on their back. And we were like, okay, but our number 7s, the one of them is 6'8", and the other one is 5 foot.
Yeah.
So they've got squad numbers because they've got completely different shirt sizes.
Yeah. Why does it matter what numbers written?
Yeah.
Like,
It's easy for the
Fortunately,
referee to identify.
well, to be fair, fortunately, the referee said, so long as we've got the numbers on the paper, we don't care.
yeah.
Fair enough. You had to grade the ref, right? So obviously, I was talking to Steph about this the other week.
I really would quite like Darren Strain to turn up
Yeah,
in
right.
the story. Just
You have to give him a mark
back
between
to
1
the
and 100. Now, there's a referee secretary at the league, and obviously the two teams go, oh, I'll give him this, I'll give him this. And they must see all the time that the team that lost has given the ref 60 and the team that's won has given the ref 95, right?
Right.
But we were like, no, we are going to run our team properly and we're going to be as objective as possible, right? So we're going to, even if we lose, we're going to try and be fair as you can be. And there were times where we lost. There was a dodgy decision, but we was like, look, he was probably, he was in a better position we were. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. 89. Yeah? there was a thing where if you gave a ref below 50 or below, you had to write a report on why you graded the ref. If you didn't write a report, you got a fine.
You're fine.
Right?
Yep.
So
See, it's endemic.
they then told us off at one of these league meetings because there was a spate of teams. We were one of them. If you're the referee secretary and you're getting a ref gets good marks off both teams. If the ref gets good marks off the team that won and bad marks off the team that lost, they're just being pissy. Yeah?
Yeah.
If they get good mark, whatever order that happens in. But if both teams grade the ref low, there's a problem. There's obviously a problem. If both teams give the ref 51,
Right.
you're basically saying,
Yeah.
this guy was so shit, I can't even be bothered to write the report. That should, to me, that's quite telling.
Yeah, that does speak volumes.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything about football, but
We're at-
I
we're
would
at-
be suspicious of that.
We're at 10 minutes.
Okay. But they was threatening to fine us for that.
But they're
all
just
the
making
time.
things up
Yeah.
for fines now. They're just like, oh, we've decided this is a finable offence
so
now.
much money.
Yeah.
All the time this is going on. So, like, the first thing you have to pay as a Sunday League team is your FA fees. You've got to pay your FA fees. Then you've got to pay your league fees, right? Before you do anything. Right? And then
What is that money used for? That's
well, this
what I
is
would
it, you
like
see,
to
because
know.
one of my big things is that you'll every so often hear the FA talk about we're helping grassroots football, and I always go, doing what exactly? Because I haven't like you go and play grassroots football. The pitches are shit. Everything about it is shit, and you're like, but when you look at the FA, they're all paid very well and they all have very swanky lunches. And it's like, they're getting that money from somewhere. Are they getting that from... You know what I mean? Are you really helping grassroots football? Or are you just pocketing the money?
They're helping grassroots football out by giving them actual grassroots to play on.
Actually,
grass.
you
Was
say
your
that, Mike.
meeting helped at Spring Hill Club?
No.
Oh.
Good years.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. We'll talk about that one, Steph. You was obviously with a different league. Every month we have to go to these meetings and something interesting starts appearing. The chairman of the league is never there. He's always giving his apologies. I did this for 4 years and I never saw the chairman of the league.
Because he was in the Bahamas on all your fines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do start thinking that.
This margarita paid for a door visit. Yum, yum, yum.
I've wanted to tell this story for a while, but I've never really known what it was about, if you know what I mean. That it felt like there was something going on. I stopped doing Sunday League after 4 years. And
Despite your business stuff.
beside my it was just like, and I realised here's one on Sunday League. You have to provide the linesman. So someone from your team has to run the line,
Someone's dad.
right? And I always, every so often, I get called to do line. So okay, and I always said, it's got to be fair for me. There's a lot of corruption in Sunday League, believe it or not. Because there's a lot of ways of cheating it. You know, your star striker gets sent off and he's banned for like 5 games. Then you just pretend that he's someone else on the team sheet because who knows who your star striker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it legit. And when I was running the
Where
line...
they started having football passports for all the team players.
Oh, we didn't get that far.
Yeah.
When I was running the line, if I had a decision, is it for our team or the opposition, I gave it to the opposition. So it was like, yeah, because I was like, I don't want to be accused of being biased. It dawned on me that the reason I stopped doing Sunday League was because the game wasn't fair. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The chairman of the league never shows up. But if we don't show up for 1 week, we're fined. It's unfair. But then when I was thinking about it, I stopped doing comedy. And why did I stop doing comedy, Steph?
Because you were shit at it.
There was that. But I could have got better.
Well,
But I'm trying to ride it. That was
I
a
mean,
great
that
line.
one.
yeah, I was
That
going to
was
say,
a
to be
great
fair,
line.
Dave, you fed up a bone.
Like, you'd run out of stories to tell me about when we were like at the same school. Was that the reason? You'd run out of stories of which teacher was shagging which.
Right. That was a good line, actually, Steph. I'll give you that one.
It got very dark. I felt like I needed to lighten the mood.
I was shit at it, but I could have got better if I'd have stuck.
Nah, you were all right.
I
I feel like I made it worse.
no,
15 minutes.
Steph. It was unfair, wasn't it? The game was unfair.
I mean, I got cast and couched quite a number of times.
Yeah, I never knew this until after how bad female comedians had it. Like I was completely.
I was really worried how that sentence was going to end.
No.
How
seriously.
bad female
Female
comedians are.
Oh.
No. I
know.
Yeah. I never realised. I've heard some horror stories since I've left stand-up comedy, and I
There was a
like,
reason I never travelled on my own.
you see that
Unless
sort of thing.
Unless I knew you were there.
You see that sort of thing. I mean, I never knew that was the case.
Yes,
I very nearly quit poetry because the game wasn't fair.
Because you were shit. Oh, because of the game.
But what's? But can I just say?
Sorry.
Can I just say? I rhymed Beamsy with Teamsy, so
I mean,
Yeah.
I think
The man,
that-
had an,
it's A.
that is literally all poetry is.
the man had an Edinburgh
What,
show, for
shit
Christ's
writing?
sake. Well,
right,
I mean,
a shit
I've got
half rhyme, Steph.
yeah.
A shit
I'll be
half-
honest.
Assonance.
My limerick on pigeons is looking fucking sweet right now.
You say that, but you know that poem I did, which managed to. Fit
That was a really
everything-
fucking good.
Yeah, that was a really good fucking poem. Fuck you, Loftus.
But we
fair-
all did really good poems.
Yeah, but I did the
I,
best.
I
But you are a poet.
I still have dreams, but Hannah's one about sandwiches. So.
Thanks.
was
Yeah,
the most
you were the
beautiful thing.
cheese. My my masterpiece.
The first line, which destroyed everyone. You
You were the cheese.
we definitely got to do another poetry night.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, that was really fun.
Yeah, so I'm going to finish this on a serious note because
Oh no.
it dawned on me all of the games, and I'm not just talking about football, are corrupt.
But this podcast is fine.
But you know what?
We're an
This
equal
podcast-
democracy here on this podcast.
This podcast,
It's
as
not-
daft as
it's
it
not
sounds,
like-
you're all here on merit.
It's not like there's even
Wow,
distribution
that
of
was like
internet.
a weird veiled threat.
Yeah.
You're here on
You're-
merit.
You're here because I've said you can be here.
Yeah.
And
Don't
I
forget, you're here
take it
forever.
Away.
I shouldn't have gone last. Basically,
should have
what
swapped.
I'm saying, we should have swapped.
I don't really know where to go.
And if you remember, Hannah, early on, I did say, "Do you want to swap?"
Yeah, I know. That's why I said but I thought it would be fine, but I didn't realize it was going to be like this.
So what we're going to have to do now is move to the person who obviously has got all the talent in the room. Steph, you're going to have to close the night out and pick the audience back up, because obviously, Steph, you're fucking great at this because you were slagging me off.
Oh, someone
That was
touched a
joke.
nerve.
The fish says Dave is jealous.
And she's done it!
Yes!
6
Dang
words!
Pete, ladies and gentlemen!
You know, I love you, Dave.
Beautiful.
There's
I-
Dave
oh,
is jealous. Mwah. T-shirt.
The fish.
On the back,
I am.
Harvey Unwin arranges the fate. On the front,
Davey.
The fish says David's
I'm getting that tattooed on my ass. It's beautiful.
Jealous. It says jealous. Look, jealous, everyone.
Oh, that's a passive aggressive Christmas dinner, that is. Dave is jealous.
Like, give me a hand, give me a hand, give me a hand. Yeah, I thought so.
Right. We're
Fucking beautifully mean.
we're
Love you, Dave.
right.
Appreciate your art.
Oh bollocks! My fucking headphones have come out. I can't hear you. Shut up. Don't fucking slag
We're
me.
not saying anything.
Love you, Dave. Love you. You're
What
great.
a wonderful person. I
love
love
you.
that you're in our lives. Oh, hey.
You fuck knuckle.
We admin folks, come on.
Badmin.
GMVQ in business
Good
administration. Right?
So, I'm so glad we've got this 3-week break.
We've got a 3-week break and we fucking
Yeah.
need it. We've done this pretty much non-stop.
Can't
Apart
believe
from
it.
one little break for like a year. And we are dead. We're going to take a 3-week break. We'll be back in 4 weeks. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Please join us then.
Please do.
You four are awesome.
So are you, Dave Pitt.
You're wonderful, Dave.
You're all right, yeah.
You can tell which of us have known you the longest, can't you?
I didn't.
The
do
one who
that
feels
for
the one who
compliment.
feels comfortable just going, fuck him.
I've known Dave since I was 11.
What?
And why haven't all of your stories been Dave Baby stories?
I just hang on, should I make it worse? For a few years I just had to call him Sir.
Right, can I just say,
Well, I mean,
I do
can I
not
just-
remember Steph.
Can I just,
I remember you.
school. Yeah, because
as the
I was
kids
the one
say
who had to keep
nowadays,
saying
Shouted at me.
when your password didn't work. No.
You shouted at me.
Did I?
Yeah, you told because a girl logged on my computer, watched me log on my computer. I didn't know this. Then logged onto the computer next to me on my login details, changed my password to Steph's a bitch, and then logged me out, turned my computer off so I couldn't get back on. I came to you and was like, "This girl has done this," and you were like, "Well, why aren't you protecting your password?" And I was like, "Ah."
Well, I
It was
stand
so
by that.
horrible.
I'll stand by that. Why weren't
I
you?
was 11, Dave. 11.
Do you protect your password now?
Not really.
Yeah, so, maybe, Steph, I should have shouted a bit fucking louder.
The fish says Hannah's tired.
I don't like it when mother and father
Genuinely.
cry and fight.
genuinely, honestly, I think my mum and dad want to use the kitchen. I think that's where we've got.
Well, tell them no, Mike. Tell them no,
Got
Michael.
washing up to do,
No.
mate.
They want to use the microwave. They're starving.
I've got to do. Oh, hello, cat. I've got important Duolingoing to do.
This Chinese isn't going to learn itself.
I had to use the freeze yesterday because I forgot.
Oh no.
The owl is angry at me, Hannah. The owl is angry.
The owl is not angry, it's disappointed.
That's so much worse.
3-week break. We'll see you in 4 weeks.
Yay!
Say
we love
bye,
you.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.